Welcome to the BEASTwriter family, where social media engagement is encouraged. I am your host, Ryan Sakamoto, and today we're going to be making sense of the news that just came out. Well, mock draft news, I guess you would say, as it pertains to Mel Kiper's two-round mock draft. Now, before we go ahead and get started, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing to my channel. Just be sure to turn on and flip on the bell notifications so to get notified when I go live or when I upload content. Also, I'm looking at my analytics, and I'm still seeing about 50% of you guys have yet to subscribe to my channel, yet watch all my stuff and like all my videos. So please do me a solid and hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Also, we are running giveaways for all who do. So you see that tick right there? Just head over to youtube.com/BEASTwriter. If you're on YouTube right now and you already subscribed to my channel, you are already entered. So not to worry with you guys, but we are giving away, as you guys know, this farewell season to Candlestick Flag, courtesy of yours truly. It was a game day given award, game day prize that was awarded to all season ticket holders for the opening day against the Green Bay Packers. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about Mel Kiper's latest mock draft. And before we go ahead and do that, just get to your comments. Rashi from the BEASTwriter family says, "Aloha BWF, BEASTwriter family. What's going on, man? I see you." Niners All Day 55 says, "What's up, Beast? How you doing? Glad you are on the show. Hopefully you can come in and tune in, man. If you have any questions, go ahead. There is a ticker right here. Let me just put that up there for you guys. So there's a live call-in right now. So you guys can go ahead and do a live call-in, and it would be all fun and games just talking to you about that. Fortnite's Ultra Report says, "I read the explanation from Mel Kiper drafting Mac Jones at 3. He says Jones is my 4th-ranked quarterback and is number 12 on my big board. And I'm not sure I see a superstar when I watch him." Yes, exactly. I'll talk about that more in depth in detail. Richard Gonzalez says, "If Kyle selects Mac Jones, he should be fired." Wow. I agree with that. Well, that's unless Tom Brady, he has a Tom Brady-like career. Richard Gordon says, "Beast, what's up going on?" Bay Area Baller says, "What up, Beast? Go Niners." Aron Singh says, "I should get this flag for Boss Man's Pizza." Yeah, hey, that's actually a good call. Sanjo Sunny, what's good, bro? Donald Johnson says, "What's up, Beast? How you doing, Donald? Thank you for tuning in." Jose Batista says, "Is there any chance the Niners draft Kyle Pitts?" Well, there's always a chance, but is it a high chance? I would say absolutely not. I think they're going to go quarterback. Chino Lee says, "Yo, Beast, did you have a chance to see Justin Fields' Pro Day clips?" I did not get a chance to see that. Don Lovato says, "I love your show, BEASTwriter." Thank you so much. Mahalo for the love. I really love the social media engagement that you guys been providing here. I wouldn't be in the position I am without you guys today. So again, mahalo for all of you. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the news, right? You guys know I cover all 32 NFL teams, not just the San Francisco 49ers. And in order to talk about one specific team in general, you have to know the other 31. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break down some of the news. For those who don't know, if you look at the ticker right here, the Browns just signed Jadeveon Clowney to a 1-year, $10 million deal. That was a pressing need for the Cleveland Browns. They don't have too many weaknesses as their board currently stacks up when they prepare for the NFL draft. However, the offensive line is pretty much set. The defensive line just got a whole lot better, especially with the pass rush. Jadeveon Clowney, to me, was a top 15, top 20 prospect in terms of the free agent class of 2021. And when you really put that all in together, you have Myles Garrett on one side. Now you have Jadeveon Clowney on the other. You cannot double team everyone. Someone's going to get open. Aside from that, guys, you guys have to take it with a grain of salt. What did I say? I said Nick Bosa and Jadeveon Clowney. That would be one heck of a 1-2 tandem. Well, Cleveland Browns just struck gold. I expect Jadeveon Clowney to have a breakout season. Now we keep saying this year after year after year after year, kind of like with Odell Beckham Jr. We see the potential. We see the top 5 potential in the player if he stays healthy. Unfortunately, both those players haven't been able to stay healthy. However, when they are on the field and when they are healthy, they have proven to be the top 5 best at their position. All right. So without further ado, let's move on. All right. We have the Steelers re-signing Josh Dobbs to a 1-year deal. If you guys don't know who Josh Dobbs is, thank you. Hi, Mariah. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thank you for chiming in. I haven't heard from you in a while. I don't think were you on the live stream yesterday? I'm not sure if you were on the live stream. I thought I missed you, but if not, hello, how you doing? But getting back to Josh Dobbs, he signed a 1-year deal, re-signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He was drafted by the Steelers and then traded to the Jacksonville Jaguars for a late-round pick. Ultimately, he got cut by Jacksonville. Now he returns to Pittsburgh Steelers last year, and then they re-upped him on a one-year deal. So he'll be fighting for a roster spot along with Mason Rudolph, something that happened in 2019. And there was some talk there as whether Josh Dobbs was better than Mason Rudolph and whether they should have kept Dobbs over Mason Rudolph. So the backup quarterback position is alive and kicking in Pittsburgh. All right, let's go ahead and move on. The Bucs signed running back Giovanni Bernard to a one-year deal. For people who are wondering who's Giovanni Bernard. He came from the Cincinnati Bengals and obviously gives Tom Brady another depth piece to work with in terms of the backfield. They also drafted Keyshawn Vaughn in the third round last year. They still re-signed and re-upped Leonard Fournette to a one-year deal this past offseason. So without further ado, you have that. And then you have Ronald Jones. So how does this affect fantasy football? It affects it a lot because this is going to be a running back by committee approach. Week in and week out, you don't know what you're getting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, especially from the tailback position. So interesting to point that out. But good signing, depth signing there. Here's one. The Falcons are now hosting wide receiver Cordell Patterson in for a visit. And Cordell Patterson, if you guys don't know, he's an all-pro kick returner, return man. No matter where he goes, whether it's the Raiders, Vikings, where else do you play? Patriots, Falcons, he gets the job done and is an all-pro talent. So Cordell Patterson, coming out of Tennessee, he would be a nice addition to GM Terry Fontenot's system in terms of what they like to do and adding versatility and speed on the edge. He can also play wide receiver, right? So I like it. I like outside the number speed. He gives it to them. All right. Jonathan K28 says, if you had to guess who is the pick for SF Beast, Justin Fields. I've been saying it. If Zach Wilson's off the board, it's Justin Fields. I'm sticking to it. I said it when Mac Jones came out and Adam Schefter, Ian Rappaport, Mel Kiper, everybody, all the big hogs were saying, Mac Jones, it's Mac Jones. I was like, nah. That's why I went on last year and said, nah. It's going to be Justin Fields if Zach Wilson's off the board. I still believe it to be Justin Fields. Don't be surprised if it also is Trey Lance. I mean, Trey Lance has the critical factors to really thrive under that offense. But to say that Mac Jones is going to be the guy, no. Mac Jones does not open up the playbook. That's something that me and Mike Schumann, who played in the West Coast offense under Bill Walsh, and obviously he would know because he played the NFL game and he played with quarterback who? Joe Montana. He would know best. And he's saying, he agrees with you. Hey, Beast, I agree with you, man. Like, Mac Jones is not the answer. So take that for what it's worth. All right, we are going to continue some news. Let's get to some of your questions, though. Richard Gordon, Beast, have you done a multi-round mock for the 49ers? I have not done a multi-round mock for the 49ers. I like to do mock drafts based on how I actually see it playing out. So I can't just peg a player in first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. That's not how I do it. I actually do all 32 teams. So I do crazy, kind of like Mel Kiper. You know, first round, boom, second round, boom, because you really have to know how the draft board is going to fall in order to select that and peg that player in at that specific round. So I don't have a current mock draft yet as it pertains to the rounds. That's going to be coming up as it gets closer to the draft and all these smoke screens kind of die away. Unfortunately for the 49ers, things are starting to heat up. So we will have to see how that one plays out. All right, Arun Singh, what is your opinion on Fred Warner's brother? Best show online, bar none. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Mahalo. Getting back to your question, I like Troy Warner. I like him a lot. Now, is he going to be drafted? Probably not. I'd see him as more of a day 3, possibly undrafted rookie free agent. However, that's not to say that he's not very talented. He would provide special teams ace ability. I like Troy Warner. In fact, any team who gets Troy Warner, you're going to see a player who you're probably going to look back 3 to 5 years now and be like, dang, maybe we should have got Troy Warner. I like Troy Warner. All right. Aron Singh also says, Aldon Smith working out for Sea Chickens. Yes, I was going to get to that. That was my next one right here. Yes. The Seahawks also hosting defensive end Aldon Smith. And here's some food for thought. Everybody, if you go back and you talk about the Seattle Seahawks, San Francisco 49er rivalry and how they clash all the time, in and out, let's take it a step further. Since Pete Carroll became the head coach back in 2010, how many former 49ers players has he stolen from them? I like to use stolen, even though it wasn't stolen. They were free agents. But how many former 49ers players has he stolen from them the next year prior? And I had this question up on earlier live streams. I don't think anyone got it. Actually, no, one person got it. I want to know how many of you guys, if you actually go back to 2010, how many players has the Seahawks, Pete Carroll, stolen since becoming the head coach back in 2010 from the San Francisco 49ers? I'm going to give you that rundown. This is why you guys are on the show. I do the legwork for you. I'm not going to make you do the guesswork. In 2010, they got fullback Michael Robinson and former first-round pick Cantwan Balmer. 2012, they brought in Mike Person. Good story, bro. 2013, Colin Kaepernick's favorite target, Ricardo Lockett. 2014, BJ Daniels, Will Tukuafu, and DeMarcus Dobbs. 2015, they got Nick Moody. 2016, they got defensive tackle Garrison Smith. 2017, they got Mike Davis and Michael Wilhoit. 2019, they got Dakota Watson. 2020, what did they do? They got DJ Reed, and who else? I believe they got a guy by the name of Demontre Moore. Okay, so that's already 14. Then it goes up. Every 2 years, they get another 2 players. This year, who'd they get? Kerry Hyder Jr. and Akilla Witherspoon brings the total number to 16 players that the Seahawks have stolen from the San Francisco 49ers, having played for the team the year prior. Interesting knowledge. Analytics is always true and true to form. That's why I'm not surprised that Aldon Smith is coming in for a visit, guys. In fact, I can see Aldon Smith signing. If I was a betting man, I'm going to bet my top dollar that Pete Carroll's going to be like, you know what? You stuck it to us all these years. We don't need you to do too much. Why? Because we just re-signed Carlos Dunlap. Carlos Dunlap is going to be our Leo. No joke. Aldon Smith on the other side with Carlos Dunlap, I'm telling you, the NFC West with their pass rush ability as the 2 outside edge rushers is crazy this year. I mean, Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt in Arizona. I mean, come on, guys. Really? That's crazy. The NFC West is getting stronger and stronger. If they pick up Aldon Smith, man, Niners fans are going to be like, why couldn't we have got Aldon Smith? Right? I don't know. That's my take. That's what I think about that. Braden Springer says, live call-in. Yes, there's a live call-in, man. All you have to do if you want to do it to a live call-in and hop on the show is head over to here, go to StreamYard.com and type this in, and you'll be entered to be in the live call-in. So go ahead and do that. This is a live call-in show. And thank you, Braden Springer. I appreciate the love. For some reason, when I was going on Facebook, it wasn't converting it, so I wasn't able to put in the live call-in. Facebook been having problems lately, man. Mark Zuckerberg, get it together. But anyways, yeah, just go here. That's what the ticker's here is for. That's what I pay for. All right. Aron Singh says, Absalom had better season than Javian. Later one had 0 sacks. Yeah, that's true, but also Jadeveon Clowney had a higher pass rush win rate, my man. And he also had and created a bigger impact in terms of bringing a pass rush presence overall. So I don't put too much stock in the sack numbers. I think you're talking about Samson Ebukam, if I'm not mistaken. When you compare the 2 players, give me Jadeveon Clowney over Samson Ebukam any day of the week. I'm just higher on Jadeveon Clowney and what he brings to the table. And if he's only available for 8 games, hey, you're getting 8 games worth of top 5 talent when healthy. I'll roll with that any day of the week. Daniel Castellanos, but not at $10 million, though. That's a ripoff. Maybe at $5 million. I do believe they overpaid for him a little bit. Daniel Castellanos said, what will happen with Aaron Donald? I don't know, man. If you guys haven't heard the news with Aaron Donald, apparently on ESPN, they just released it. I got the notification. Something about like he was, if I'm not mistaken, allegedly did something where he hit somebody at a bar or he was in some kind of confrontation and now he's getting sued or something like that. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Daniel Castellanos, but isn't that what happened? He's in some kind of legal trouble with the law. I don't know what's going to happen. Everything has to play out. So at this point, it's kind of like a non-issue until obviously he's found guilty or something like that. You're proven innocent until proven guilty. All right. Gabriel Ozole from 49ers GT says, what's that mean for Haskins? Oh, because the Steelers signed Haskins. True story. I don't know. That could be a camp battle. I think Dwayne Haskins' job is safe. Look, they liked him coming out of college. Mike Tomlin's very high in him coming out of the Ohio State University. Dwayne Haskins is not going to go anywhere. They obviously brought him back for a reason. If you were to tell me who had higher upside, Dwayne Haskins or Josh Dobbs, I would say Dwayne Haskins. Now, if you're to tell me who is the more NFL-ready quarterback and who I would win with, who I would trust, I'd slightly give the edge to Josh Dobbs. And people who don't know who Josh Dobbs is, again, that's why I cover all 32. Josh Dobbs is legit. And you Steelers fans know he's legit. You guys were happy when you guys brought him back. Some of you guys didn't want Mason Rudolph on the roster to be backup Big Ben. You guys wanted Josh Dobbs, me included. Just saying. And it's going to be a camp battle. Nonetheless, I think it's to really push Dwayne Haskins to keep his mindset straightforward. Hey, look, just because you were what was he, the 14th or 15th overall pick in the first round or something like that? Just because you were a high round draft pick doesn't make you any less, you don't get a pass, so to speak. You have to fight for your roster spot. And hey, it comes down to work ethic, because Dwayne Haskins' work ethic has been meh. And we talk about work ethic and as it pertains to Justin Fields, like it's meh. I don't know. I'm not sure about the Justin Fields one, but I know for Dwayne Haskins, that was definitely an issue. Arun Singh, I mean, Aldon Smith had a better season. Oh, Aldon Smith. Yes, Aldon Smith did have a better season than Jadeveon Clowney. Absolutely. I thought you meant Samson Ebukam, but I get it. You're 100% correct, Arun. And I apologize for thinking it was Samson Ebukam, but I couldn't understand what you said there. So I was assuming it was Samson Ebukam. But no, you're absolutely 100% right. Right on point, my man. All right. Mariah says, no, I was working. I got to catch up tomorrow on my day off, heading into work now, but just want to stop by and say hi and show my love. Hey, Mariah, thank you so much. Let me know what you think of the live stream. You're awesome, as always. Donald Johnson says, let's go Justin Fields, number 3 pick. Yes. Richard Gordon from the BEASTwriter family. What do you think of Justin Fields, Quinn Miners, Eric Stokes in rounds 1 through 3? Well, again, it depends. Thank you so much for your question, Richard. I really appreciate it. And getting back to your question, it really comes down to how the draft board's going to fall. Like, I cannot peg Quinn Miners as a day 2 pick if there's someone like that falls. Like, let's say Javonte Williams somehow falls to the 49ers at number 43. How can you say no to Javonte Williams? How can you say no to Michael Carter? And you guys are wondering, who are these guys? I talked about these guys in the earlier live stream. The guys I'm talking about is the running back position who play out of North Carolina. That was a 2-headed monster. Both these running backs would fit well under Kyle Shanahan's system. And again, you guys can say all you guys, not you, but the argument is Raheem Mostert. You can plug any running back there. Raheem Mostert, Matt Breida, whoever, Jeff Wilson, it doesn't matter. However, none of those guys can stay healthy for a full 16-game schedule, let alone a 17-game schedule, let alone a deep playoff run. So in any case, I would rather roll with fresher legs, get a Javonte Williams, get a Michael Carter in the second round at 43, and give your quarterback a really reliable workhorse running back that he can work with for the foreseeable future. Why not? I mean, you look what the Dallas Cowboys did in the early 90s. Who they had? They had Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, all in the prime of their careers, as it created a perfect storm. And that's why they created a dynasty. Now, you can say all you want and hate the Dallas Cowboys, but I'm just talking about the formula in general. Hey, I hated the Dallas Cowboys as a Niner fan. I hated, hate's a strong word, but I hated the Dallas Cowboys. They would always beat the Niners in the early 90s, except for 1994. Thanks to Eric Davis's pick 6 that sets the tone for the remainder of the game. But with that, and with Deion Sanders, of course, being the reigning NFL or NFC or NFL Defensive Player of the Year. Gosh, Deion Sanders, if he would have stayed in San Francisco, how many more Super Bowls would the 49ers have won? How many would they have won? I mean, they ended the quest for 5. They could have won 1, maybe 2. I mean, gosh dang it, man. I liked Deion Sanders. What do you guys think about Deion Sanders? But getting back to your question, again, I have to see how the draft board falls. I really can't give you a number or a potential prospect in day 2 or day 3, because at the end of the day, I have to look at the draft position. I will obviously put out my mock draft, 7-round mock draft, as it pertains to all 32 NFL teams. I am still working on that, so stay tuned for that. That's going to be a good one. Daniel Castellanos, do you think Niners will have a top 5 defense? No, I do not. Plain and simple, I do not, simply because of the fact, like, anytime you lose a lot of these horses up front, especially edge presence like Kerry Hyder Jr., we can't be sold on Nick Bosa to sustain a full 16-game schedule. We're hoping that Eric Armstead would pick up the slack in Nick Bosa's absence. He wasn't. It was actually Kerry Hyder Jr., and ultimately Kerry Hyder Jr. is now off to the Seattle Seahawks, so I just discussed. Where's the edge rushing presence? That's why they brought in Samson Ebukam? Really? To replace Kerry Hyder's production from an edge rushing presence. I'm not sold that this is going to be a top 5 defense statistically by giving up passing yards allowed, maybe, but overall, I'm not so sure. All right. We're going to thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate the love. Robert Watson, thank you so much for the super sticker and super chat. Mahalo, mahalo. Again, people who are wondering if you want to support the channel, if you like the work, like the channel, like the BEASTwriter family, we are striving to shoot for. Please consider sending me a super chat. Thank you so much, Robert Watson. As always, you have always been spot on with that. Thank you so much, man. And I thank you enough. Aran Singh, thank you so much for the super sticker as well. I appreciate it, my man. You are awesome, man. It's great hearing from you. Always love talking to you. And without you guys, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. So thank you so much. All right. We have Braden Springer from the BEASTwriter family hopping on the show. Braden, how you doing, my man?
Hey, Ryan, how's it going?
How are you doing?
Is everything good? Everything working well?
I hope so. I hope so. I don't know if Facebook's working or not, but hey, I don't know. For some reason, Facebook's been having problems. So streaming from StreamYard to Facebook has been an issue. Like for some reason, I don't know, but
yeah, I know. That's Facebook for you, though.
I know. You probably have to have a paid service for it to stream onto Facebook now. Mark Zuckerberg was like, you know what? BEASTwriter is getting way too much traffic. Let's see how we can take that traffic and turn it into monetization.
Slow it down.
Yeah, let's slow down the traffic. What's on your mind, my man?
Well, I remember yesterday during your podcast, you were saying that Garoppolo can't make some of the throws. Like they'll have Kittle go on a streak, and then they'll have like the other team will run zones, and like the linebackers will cover certain receivers.
Right.
And I believe that I think Kyle Shanahan's pretty smart, so I think he would draft Fields for that reason. It would keep the front seven honest, wouldn't you think?
Oh yeah, absolutely, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. Mac Jones just being a smokescreen. It has to be. There's no way.
I'm hearing it's a smokescreen. I mean, it's one thing. It's good to know people, right?
Yeah.
But you have to be careful who you trust, right? That's why when I put stuff out there, people are like, "What the heck?" But then that's why you have people like Fred Warner Sr. following me, because it's credible, right? Everything there. I didn't get to where I am by accident, right? So you have to build up that kind of rapport, right, with people. You can get it too. Anybody can get it as long as you have integrity and you trust and they trust you. The thing that with me with Mac Jones is everyone's saying Mac Jones, Mac Jones, Mac Jones. But at the end of the day, I'm not so sure it's Mac Jones. Like you just said, there's no point in drafting a guy like Mac Jones when you could have got him at 8 with the Carolina Panthers. And if the Carolina Panthers aren't sold on Mac Jones because they traded out and they thought Sam Darnold was a better option, that's just one GM inside the top 10 that shows his card saying, "Hey, we don't even want Mac Jones at 8 if he's available."
Yeah, you got a point.
Right?
Yeah, I just don't know. I think Mac Jones could get you to the Super Bowl just like Jimmy G, but can he win the Super Bowl? That's the question I got. Like,
no. I don't. The answer is no, because at the end of the day, football is a game of inches. I keep bringing back to this. And I talked to Mike Schumann about this on the live stream. Football is a game of inches, right? And we're going to have, I don't know if you know Dylan Farrell, but he's a former 49er. He's going to be hopping on the show tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. on our live stream. So around this time. And I talked to him. The common denominator is football is a game of inches. One bad throw can ultimately decide
the game. Yeah.
Decide the game. So when you put that into account, every little play counts. It could be a missed tackle here that goes for 2 to 3 yards. Well, instead of it being 3rd and 7, now it's 3rd and 4. So your play calling is now changed. It's a game. If it was 3rd and 7, then you can maybe keep in your nickel. But if it's a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, now you may have to roll with your base defense.
Yeah.
And if they go no huddle and they spread it out wide, now you're in a compromised position because you're gonna have a linebacker on a slot receiver more often than not. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, and I think the NFL is kind of evolving to mobile quarterbacks, like you've been saying all along.
Yes.
So I think it's time for Kyle Shanahan to kind of get with the future, kind of, so to speak.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like Kyle Shanahan's kind of in the past, like Kirk Cousins. I know that was his kind of ideal quarterback. Like, I don't really feel like he can win a Super Bowl either. Like, I feel like he could get there, but I don't think he can win it. Now, if you're going up against like Mahomes and like good quarterbacks like Tom Brady, I mean, I don't know. I just question if he could beat those people out.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're absolutely correct. And your comment right here says it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is very true. Like, you hit it spot on. It has to be a smokescreen. Now watch Mac Jones be the pick and you're like, BEASTwriter, you are so wrong, dude. But hey, I'm not a it's
I
gonna
wouldn't
happen.
be too worried about it.
I know. I've been right for like what 7 years now. It's like when I get one wrong, people like flip,
freak out.
They're like, they freak out like you. I was like, oh my gosh, look at all the other people who throw softball predictions up, and I'm here throwing softball and the fastball and the changeup and the curve.
They think so highly of you. That's why it's like, oh, BEASTwriter got one wrong. They think highly of you.
Well, thank you. It's amazing though, because it's kind of like poker, right? Do you ever play poker, like Texas Hold'em? It's kind of like everyone remembers the bad beats, but no one remembers the consistent wins.
Yep.
Of how you built that tip step.
And I don't know if would you have smokescreen Mac Jones though? Would you have smokescreen somebody else if you were the 49ers, or was that the perfect smokescreen? You think?
I think it's the perfect smokescreen, and here's why. There's some people who are saying, why is it a smokescreen for the teams ahead? Well, one, it's going to create doubt for the Jacksonville Jaguars, who sit at 1, who everyone has pegged to Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
And at number 2, everyone has Zach Wilson pegged there, right? In all the mocks. So if you're going to be sitting there at 3 and you're looking at the mock drafts, psychologically, it's a psychological game. I mean, I went to school for, psychology. It's a reverse game of psychology here.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is you're putting pressure on the teams in front and the teams behind and saying, look, we don't even care about those guys. Our guy, regardless of who you guys want, is Mac Jones. Now it's going to put pressure on the teams behind. Like, oh, should we take a second, third look on Mac Jones? Oh, wait, but what about I don't know, but the Niners are saying it's Mac Jones. That's why all this news is all tailored toward Mac Jones, because if you picked another quarterback, like let's say Trey Lance, well, that's kind of more of an obvious choice. Okay, I can see him trading up for Trey Lance because it's obviously he has the most upside of any quarterback in this draft class. But when it comes to Mac Jones, it's kind of like on the fence. Like people are either like you love him or you don't like him. But why do the Niners love him? Or is that a huge smokescreen?
I almost guarantee it's a big smokescreen. It has to be.
Yeah.
Like, is he going to be a good quarterback? I think he's a system quarterback. Like he has to be in the right system.
Right.
And with the right team. And I actually think he's probably going to go I think he's going to fall out of the top 10, Mac Jones, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Mac Jones, to me, this is how I have my mock draft currently set up. I'm just going to give you guys a sneak peek. I'm doing a full 7-round mock draft. It's tired. Like, that's why some of these live streams I haven't been on, because I've been, dude, for one pick, I spend 7 hours a day on just one pick doing research. No, I'm being serious.
I hear you. Yeah.
Like I'm not joking. I'm very serious about this.
When do you sleep?
I didn't go to sleep. Last few days I've been going to sleep around 3 and then waking up at 7:30. So I take this very serious, because people around draft day, that's where I usually get the most of my traffic, is because my analysis. Everyone thought I was stupid for saying Justin Jefferson, and all of a sudden, and I said Javon Kinlaw was a reach. They should have took Tristan Wirfs and stuck with. And then people were like, "No, Javon Kinlaw is going to be okay." Watch. I said the one thing I don't like is his pass rush, and what do we see? And that's why Javon Kinlaw now calls me his biggest inspiration, because I called it out, and it's like inspiring him to play better and saying, "Hey, look, Javon Kinlaw, this is something you need to work on. I expect you to have 5 to 9 sacks next year. Go ahead, go out and do it and prove me wrong," because I think that's ultimately what he's going to do. I think he's going to take whatever my constructive criticism I said, because I said he has Pro Bowl talent, and turn it into a second year. But initially coming out, I knew what we were getting with Javon Kinlaw. I knew what the Vikings were getting with Justin Jefferson. Everything is time-stamped. That's why I said that the Niners should have just stayed at 13, took Tristan Wirfs, the best offensive tackle on the board, right?
Oh, they would look so good this year, too, with him.
Exactly. And the reason why they traded out, which people tend to forget, is they mortgaged their future for the half-year rental player of trading for Emmanuel Sanders, so they need to recoup that draft pick. Yep. People don't realize that. You have to peel back layers of the onion to get to the core of exactly why that move was made. Not just, oh, they traded back because they wanted Javon Kinlaw. No. They traded back because they needed to recoup draft capital, and ultimately missed out on Wirfs and thought Javon Kinlaw would have the same type of production as Wirfs, because both of those guys had the highest potential on both sides of the line of scrimmage.
And here's another thing I kind of got. I was reading yesterday, and they were saying that Jimmy G has a no trade clause.
He does. So,
he could really choose to stay or go. but I can see him wanting to go back to the Patriots, but I can't see too many other places that he'd want to go.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of a big problem, like the D4 contract, like the no injury. I think we would have got rid of him too this year if it wasn't for that no injury contract. So, do you think he'll leave, like willingly?
Yes,
or
I think so. Well, because think about it. Like again, like from what I'm hearing, all right. Now this won't be national media or anything like that. But my sources are pretty strong, and Jimmy is not very happy right now. Okay,
yeah,
it's
probably he's not hard to stay somewhere where you're not wanted.
Right there, you go. I mean, I'm not gonna. You just said it. Yeah. He's not wanted. He's not wanted. So how can any quarterback have success when you're not wanted in a place that you're damaged goods for them?
He wants to be a starter. He's wanting to be a starter. I know he is. He's getting paid like one, so he has to really.
He's going to get traded to the Patriots on draft day or before draft day. That's my bold prediction. I'm sticking to it. I think ultimately he's going to get traded to the Patriots because the Patriots are going to miss out on Trey Lance, who I think is, or unless they get Trey Lance. That's what I currently have the mock to getting. They're going to make a play for Trey Lance, not Mac Jones. Trey Lance is their guy. And the reason I say that is because they have Cam Newton there. For them to bring in a guy like Mac Jones, they would have to kind of revert the offense. With Trey Lance there, you're keeping the same offensive scheme in place where you're taking advantage of the quarterback's dual threat ability. So you got to think from a coaching perspective, what exactly are you getting and how are you going to retool the new pieces that you have in play? Because remember, timing is everything. Routes are everything. So when you have a dual threat quarterback, the timing with the receivers is going to be so much to where it's off of rhythm, right? Off of timing. You bring in guys like Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, right? Jonnu Smith, the tight end, Hunter Henry, the other tight end. You're telling me right now that Jimmy Garoppolo would not be a perfect fit for that offense. You'd be doing yourself a disservice because no longer do you have to look, if you're Jimmy Garoppolo outside the numbers, you can just look straightly down the seams and you have Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry. And that's your first and second read. And all this is just smoke. This is all bonus. Do you see what I'm saying? Because someone's going to be open down the seams, especially against the linebackers.
That makes sense to me. I mean, you hit it straight on, I think. I can't see a better scenario for him, too. Like, it just makes sense. But I don't think they're going to get a first-round pick out of him.
No. It's going to be a second-round pick. It's going to be a day 2 pick. It's going to be a day 2 pick or a couple of day 2 picks for him.
Yeah, he just paid too much to be a first-round pick, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he was a little slightly less, I think they could probably get first round.
Yeah. So, anyway.
I think he's good, but I think my ideal dream scenario for Trey Lance would be I think the Broncos would be good. I would like to see him go to the Broncos.
That would be a nice fit. George Payton's going to make a play for a quarterback. He's a new GM. Obviously, he wants to have his stamp on it. Obviously, you still have John Elway there in an executive role, so he's kind of overseeing things. But ultimately, the executive decisions come down to George Payton. George Payton, to me, is going to make some power play move. And if he sees a quarterback like Trey Lance sitting there, he might have to move up a little bit. In his eyes, it's going to be whether or not it's going to be worth the draft capital to move up just 3 spots to maybe like the Miami Dolphins. And the Miami Dolphins could move back. I mean, I know they moved up to 6 for a pass catcher. That's what all signs are pointing. And if Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase or Devontae Smith are sitting there, likely they're going to take one of those. Ultimately, don't be surprised if they take the best linebacker off the board in Micah Parsons because they have a need for an inside linebacker in the 34 base defense who does a lot of edge rushing presence on their third down packages. That's something that people are not pointing out. And currently I have Micah Parsons mocked to the Miami Dolphins. It goes against conventional wisdom, but people I've talked to behind the scenes saying, hey, that's not a bad pick. So
I think that's pretty smart.
If you're telling me that's not a bad pick, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm on the right track. At least my analysis is pointing me in the right direction.
My problem is I don't know where Kyle Pitts is going. He's kind of stumbling up my mock draft. It just seems like he could go anywhere. It literally
legit Kyle Pitts can go as high as to the Cincinnati Bengals at 5. And look, everyone's talking about Kyle Pitts as a tight end. I don't see a tight end. I see a wide receiver. Let's not get it twisted. Kyle Pitts to me is like a Plaxico Burress. He has that same height, faster. He's a little bit faster. He has the body catch radius, so he can go ahead and catch the ball at the catch point. Some of the things that you see in Kyle Pitts' game, you see in Plaxico Burress's game from a wide receiver position. More times than not, he's going to line up wide. He's not going to be an inline blocker because he sucks. He's
Yeah.
garbage as a blocker. No, I'm serious. I can blow him off the line. I see it. He doesn't even know how to leverage his splits. So he's not very strong. Like if I was going up against Kyle Pitts, I know exactly. I don't care how tall or how long he is. I can get underneath his pads, and the lower man always wins. And I know how to leverage my split to where I'm already putting him in a compromised position. It's very simple. Now Kyle Pitts needs to learn that. But if you're going to strictly look at Kyle Pitts as a receiving threat, a mismatch nightmare between the 20s who can basically bulldoze over cornerbacks because he's much bigger than them, and then he's faster than these linebackers, well, you're going to have a chess piece right there that's just going to be a mismatch nightmare for any defensive coordinator. So that's why I think Cincinnati Bengals might get him at number 5. But then again, he can go anywhere. Like you said, he can drop, dude.
Yeah, the thing about the Bengals is I think they're going to go like pass protection. Like, I know they want to protect Joe Burrow right now.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know whether they need pass catchers and they need blocking. So it's like, who do I put there? Because some people say Slater, some people say, Sewell, and Kyle Pitts is another option.
Yeah. So, thank you so much for tuning in, man. I appreciate it though. All
right.
Coming on all my live stream, bro.
All right.
Welcome to the BEASTwriter. No, you have good things to say, so I really enjoy having you on. I'm going to have Michael Miller on in a little bit, so I just wanted to bring in more people on here. But thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate it,
my
man.
Me.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
Mahalo, my man. All right, we have Michael Miller. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing good. Did you hear where the Niners tried to get the 6th overall pick to start with?
What's that?
The Niners tried, when they first tried to trade, they wanted the number 6 pick is what they wanted. The Philadelphia Eagles pick.
Who reported that one?
Grant on his show.
What are the odds you think that is true?
I think he tried to move up. I think it's probably true. I've heard, some other people talking about it too. But what 2 quarterbacks would be available at 6? Mike Jones,
right,
and Trey Lance. Which means that's possibly the 2 picks that the Niners are going to go after, who they like.
If they moved up to 6, okay, let's look at the draft position, right? If they moved up to 6, knowing that the Atlanta Falcons were going to move out from 4, or this was before.
Or is Atlanta.
Okay.
Somebody may not want to trade with them. It's a high price to pay to get there.
It is. But GM Terry Fontenot comes from Mickey Loomis' tree, and they always find a way to yield more draft capital. Ultimately, I have the Atlanta Falcons actually trading out. I don't know what the draft capital it is. I don't know which teams it's going to be. It could be anywhere from the Broncos to even the New England Patriots. Hey, if they want Trey Lance, and
I think Patriots are going to come up.
Huh?
If there's one team in here that's going to come up, it's the Patriots.
Right. Exactly. So that's why, you're sitting there at 6, and okay, so if they're sitting there at 6 and with the Philadelphia Eagles, who currently have the 6th spot, right? Initially.
Yeah. No, they have the 12th now. Miami has 6.
They had the 6th spot. So ultimately what the Niners gave up to move up to 3 instead of moving up to 6, I mean, you're looking at what's the price difference there? What's the valuation there?
A first-round pick.
Okay, a
fourth round.
More to
get from 6 to 3.
From 6 to 3 was giving up a 4th
round.
About
another the second first rounder, yeah.
Oh, was it second first rounder? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of capital, man. But no, getting back to it, you make great points. I mean, I think that the way I'm looking at my mock draft right now, as it currently stands, there's going to be some moving, bro. Like, these quarterbacks are going to go freaking fast.
I'm still saying we're going to get Zach Wilson, and Jimmy G's going to go to be a Jet.
Right.
Who's the Jets quarterback right now starter? If they draft nobody.
If they draft nobody?
Who's the starter right now?
Who is it?
Nobody.
That's what I mean, yeah. They don't have anyone.
It's nobody. So are you going to put a rookie out there? We have backups that have been around the league right now.
Right.
Josh Rosen, the guy we picked up from Philadelphia. I know he ain't much or whatever, but at least they've been around for a while. Jets have nobody that's been around, period. Right. And why are they not running out to get a vet right now? There's got to be something in the works. That's why I think Jimmy G is already – they've got a trade that's going to happen there. Jimmy G's going to the Jets. We bump up one position. We get our quarterback we want.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason why the Jets haven't already went out and signed a quarterback because you got to have a vet on the team.
Right.
Even if you draft a second overall pick quarterback. Think about it. It
makes too much sense. And I put that out on the earlier live stream. I said, don't be surprised if he goes to the Patriots, but also don't be surprised if he goes to the New York Jets. Echoing your analysis, I'm with you, man. Like, that is a very likely scenario. I think Jimmy G is going to get traded on draft day. Now, whether it's
I dare anybody to tell me who the Jets starting quarterback would be right now. There is nobody there.
And they're not
they've got somebody, but it's nobody.
Right. And they're not going to start Zach Wilson straight out of the gates. I mean, that's fool's gold to think that he's going to have success coming out of BYU and then transitioning that talent quickly to the NFL level, especially during COVID. We're still in the COVID season right now, right? So
gotta have a vet back.
Everything's backed up, man. So the maturation process for timing with your receivers and then learning the system and then obviously playing against the opposing competition, that's all live reps you're going to get on game day. And ultimately, you're going to put your quarterback in a compromised position behind a shaky offensive line because obviously...
Has there ever been a quarterback drafted in the top 5 that didn't have a vet already in place?
I don't think so, man.
No. And the Jets have nobody. And they're not looking at quarterbacks right now.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing really out there. I mean, there's a few that could be.
Right.
But, why ain't they already signed it? We're less than 3 weeks away from the draft.
Right.
And they ain't signed no quarterback. That's the obvious thing that's going to happen.
We have a question from John Shepard. Thank you so much for your generosity, man. He says, the need for mobile quarterbacks is a great need because of terrible line play. Do you think Fields and Lance, same quarterback trainer, Kyle has inside track? Which one do you like? Ultimately, I'm going to have to say jeez Louise. I know this sounds crazy. I like Trey Lance a little bit more than Justin Fields. I know I sound nuts.
Trey Lance has the biggest upside of any of them.
It's crazy for me to say that, though. I sound stupid for saying Trey Lance is...
he calls majority of his plays.
I know.
He's got the brains to do it. It's just he needs reps. He needs reps.
Yes, exactly. That's why I think I'm dumb for saying
that. It's not bad. I mean, he's my number 2 quarterback in this entire draft. Oh, even over Clemson's quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. Yeah. I like him better than even him.
Right.
I mean, I'm not a big Trevor Lawrence fan.
I'm not either. I think he might be a bust. I know that sounds crazy. I think he might be a bust, dude. And the reason I'm
100% with you.
Okay, good. I just don't see enough. And I called him a generational talent coming out. And then I was watching more film, and that's where I really get into it. And I'm saying, I don't see a generational talent.
What happened to him in the Ohio State game when he got killed?
He got murdered.
Yes. And it ain't like Clemson ain't got talent around him.
Oh, no. They have talent.
They have talent around him, and he got killed.
Tony Nagatani, thank you so much for generosity. Says, from the BEASTwriter family, was Aaron Rodgers pissed when Green Bay took Jordan Love? What are your thoughts on that? I think he was pissed, obviously.
I'd be mad, too, if somebody was drafted in my position, especially in the first round.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to lose his job, but, that ain't something that's good.
Yeah. I agree with you 110%. All right. So Jonathan K28 has a great insight. Jimmy will be fine being traded to anywhere. He doesn't want to be released. He ain't making that bag with another team. Jimmy has stayed quiet because he wants to maintain that paycheck. Would you say that's true? Somewhat true, right?
Somewhat true. He wants to be traded. I think he wants to be traded at this point in time.
Yeah.
I mean, after you got slapped around in the media for a while, you'd want to be traded too. And you'd want to be traded so that you could keep that 25+ million salary,
Right.
Otherwise, he's not going to get, if he gets released, he's not going to get more than $15 million a year.
Right.
Exactly.
So, all right. Tony Agatani says, who would you rather have, DK Metcalf or Kyle Pitts? Your last question. I'm going to
DK Metcalf.
Okay, why? Ooh, I like it.
He's just a monster.
I like it, dude. So hey, are you high on Kyle Pitts? I'm going to put this on you, bro.
Kyle Pitts is going to be good, but he's not a blocking tight end. He lacks everything you need to be a blocking tight end, and he's more of a Marquise Colston was for Denver Broncos. He's a tight end playing wide receiver, basically.
I like that.
Or wide receiver playing tight end.
No, I agree with you. I think he's looked at as a tight end, but he's a wide receiver. Let's not mistake it. He's a wide receiver. He's going to line up wide more often than not because he can't inline block.
He's a big mismatch for a lot of teams.
Let's put it this way. If I'm a defensive coordinator and Kyle Pitts is in the game, I don't care if he's a run blocker. I'm going to take him and eliminate him out of the equation on any given play. I can put my nickel back on him, and he can just slip the block right away because he doesn't know how to leverage his technique.
Yeah. The best player in the draft is, and I don't know if you Smith, wide receiver from Devontae Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Best player in the draft.
Yep,
hands
I agree
down.
with you. Yep, I said
He's
that on my
going to be
live stream.
explosive.
Dude, he's going to be a beast. I said Marvin Harrison before NFL Network said Marvin Harrison. Bro, and people were laughing at me. And I was like, okay, well, time will tell. And still time will tell. He hasn't played a snap in the NFL. He could get hurt. He's 170 pounds. However, you can't measure the size of his heart. And the way he leverages his splits off the line of scrimmage, coming high off his stem, getting separation with that 2 to 3 yard cushion. That is some explosive.
There's only one player in this draft besides a quarterback that I would be happy with if we drafted him number 3 overall, and that's Devontae Smith.
There you go.
That would not be a bust pick.
No, absolutely not. Well, thank you so much, Michael Miller. I appreciate the love, man. Mahalo.
Yep.
All right. So we have my man, Waruna Pereira, hopping on. Waruna, you are back from Elk Grove, California. How are you doing?
Yeah, doing good. How are you?
Good, man. Better that you're on the show. How are you doing? What's up with you? How's your, what are we on, Wednesday now? How's your Wednesday?
It's going good. I just took kind of 15 minutes break from work just to speak to you.
Right on. So what's on your mind? What's on your mind, buddy?
I want to ask a different question from you. Since you have the expertise on strength and conditioning. Mm-hmm. So in your opinion, how much percentage that player can improve with strength and conditioning in his game other than his natural ability? How much that strength and conditioning can really help for a player?
That's a good question. So are you asking me strength and conditioning in terms of like how much he can improve based on how much like body fat he needs or how much body fat he doesn't need, or like
basically, let's say now if you take example like player like Jimmy G, right? So now he has some naturally there is a limit of his talent, right? But in terms of his injuries, so he has a problem too. So do you think if he can improve in his physical condition, can he perform better on the field?
Yes and no. I would say this. I would say a lot of people put too much stock, and I'm friends with a lot of the NFL conditioning coaches in the NFL. I mean, I talk to them on a daily basis. When I post my workouts, they're like, dang, dude, that's crazy. I'm going to show my players this. Everybody has a different body type. So let's take, for example, Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay. All right. Here's a guy who's always injured. Can you blame that on the strength and conditioning coach because of the fact that he got hurt? I would say no. But the recovery process where you're trying to go through what's called physical therapy, that can impact whether injury reoccurs or not. And that's what those guys get paid the big bucks, so they don't have those injuries occur again. What we're seeing with the San Francisco 49ers is players are getting injured over and over and over and over again. And then you're looking at it and like, you're the strength and conditioning coach. You're the physical therapist. You're the chiropractor. What's going on? How are these players not like returning to full strength, or if not full strength, damn near full strength? Yes. It comes down to ultimately genetics. All right. I'm a firm believer in genetics. Like, I can only get so big. I'm Asian. I can only get so big, right? And we're predominantly we're very short, right? Yes. We're not the tallest people, right? Yes. I mean, we can barely go on roller coaster rides, right? No,
yes, I'm
joking, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true, because I can tell you example. For example, now I'm coming from Sri Lanka. Now in Sri Lanka, rugby is very popular.
Right.
But always the problem for us is we have the agility, we have the speed, but we cannot compete with top sides, Australia and New Zealand, because we don't have that physical strength, physical stature. So we can play sevens quick game, but when it comes to 15s, we can't compete because we don't have it.
Right.
That's genetics.
It's genetics, and that's what people look at someone and be like, dang, man, like, how do you get like that? People ask me all the time, how do you get big traps? How do you get big legs? How do you get big arms? Like Mike McGlinchey, how do you get big arms? Ultimately, you can do the same exact workouts. You can YouTube stuff. You can go to Instagram and go to Fitspiration, go on Evogen, go on Cage Muscle, and you can figure out workout routines anywhere, right? You can go to watch Olympia and see the workouts that they do on YouTube. Ultimately, it comes down to genetics. Now, genetics is only a part of it. You still have to put in the work ethic, but your muscles can only get so big. Like for me, my problem is, my problem is my legs. I don't have strong legs. My dad did, but that comes down to genetics. So one would think that my legs would be stronger than my strong point because my dad was a freaking huge track star back in high school. Ultimately, I didn't get that. I think I get my mom's side of the legs. However, my upper body, like this, there's not too many Asians that you see that are just this broad with like the traps, the shoulders, and so forth. That comes down to genetics. People ask me in the gym, hey, how do you get big traps? And it's like, dude, it comes down to genetics. You can do all the workouts, you can do all the shrugs, you can do all this, but getting back to your point when it gets to Jimmy Garoppolo, again, you can do all the recovery processes, right, to get him ultimately game ready. Ultimately, genetics play a role. Diet also plays a role. And how they bounce back, I mean, a lot of it is football. Football's a contact sport. And some players are just injury prone, right? They get injured all the time and then their careers end. The NFL lifespan is only 2 to 3 years, by the way. So people tend to forget that. And no one remembers those people who are in the league, for less than 5 years for the most part, right?
Yes.
Very seldomly. So that's why, in getting to your question, when it comes to Jimmy Garoppolo and you're wondering if he's going to get injured again, some guys are just injury prone, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's hard as much as it hurts to say that, but it's true. Like there's just some players who just can't get on the field or stay on the field, right? So, yeah. So that's my take on that. What else is on your mind though? Hopefully that cleared some.
Yeah. Because I have seen. I mean, since I grew watching a lot of rugby. So in my experience, sometimes player gets like 5 extra pounds, or he loses 5 extra pounds, and his performance is totally on a new level. So that physical conditioning, everything, it plays a huge part. Sometimes you cannot believe that this was the same player in the last season. So that's why I asked you the question. So in terms of football, how important it is.
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's a great question, man. You have good questions, by the way. People are probably looking like, what kind of question is this? I'm interested. And yeah, that's why football and fitness, ask me fitness questions, man. Like that's how it ties into football. I mean, like I said, I talk to a lot of these NFL strength and conditioning coaches. We talk game all the time. We talk shop. I mean, this is what I do for a living outside of this.
Yes.
Right? Personal train, online coach, and then also, bodybuild. It's a different kind of a workout too. You know what I mean? So when you train players, like which I train players, in the off season to get them ready for whatever it is they need to do, whether it's a lateral agility, you can't train the players the same way. Like you can't train Jimmy Garoppolo the same as you would like Mike McGlinchey.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And then from there, it's like, okay, well, what's wrong with Jimmy Garoppolo? It's his lower half, right? But then how do you strengthen that? Like you don't want him to have huge ass quads because that's bad, but you want it strong enough to where he doesn't, falter during the 17 game season. Like he can endure those hits to the midsection and to the knees and so forth. So yeah, some guys are just injury prone, man. I hate to say that. It's true though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. The other question is, again, this would be kind of a debatable question.
Okay.
Now, when I see football, one thing that always scares me is the player safety.
Right.
Now, when it comes to rugby, one of the very, I would say, amazing facts about modern day rugby is that they are focus on player safety, because every year, every season, there are new rules that are focused on implementing player safety more, concussion protocols and techniques, tackling techniques. For example, now in rugby, if you tackle above the shoulder, that's a straight yellow card. You're out for 10 minutes for the game.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
yeah, now it's not, you can't say whether it is intentional or not. Because let's say the ball carrier goes down, and if the tackler still tackle him above the shoulder, that's a yellow card. Player goes out. So the thing is, in rugby, if you go out for 10 minutes, the team has to play with 14 players. You miss that player for 10 minutes. And if you do the same mistake twice, it's a red card. You're out from the game. Maybe you get multiple suspensions in next few games. But so always, every year, they are trying to make sure that game is safe to play for the kids, that the parents can put their kids into the game without it's a contact sport. Injuries are unavoidable, but still they are trying to make sure it is safe as possible. But when it comes to football, so I am kind of an outsider to football. So when it comes to football, I don't see that. I see the rules are getting changed every year, but most of the technicalities, like some things like they were thinking about closing that Tom Brady loophole, that he threw his own catch, then he threw it back, things like that. But what is your idea on this? Do you think that football should focus more on player safety? How are they putting enough effort to make that is a reality?
I am very throwback. I think it's flag football now. I talked to Mike Schumann. Did you watch my live stream with Mike Schumann, who was
Sorry,
on?
I missed that, actually.
No, it's okay. You can go back and watch the live stream later. It's fine. It's a good one, man. Anytime I'm having at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow, another former 49er, Dylan Farrell. So he's hopping on the live stream. I post everything in my community page on YouTube. So just go to that, and then you will know what's coming up. So that's something I'm going to be using more often. But in getting to your question, player safety, I'm more of a throwback guy. I like hits. I like controlled violence. Is that dirty in today's game? Yes, it is dirty. But back then, again, you paid the price going across the middle when Ronnie Lott was sitting there. You paid the price when Troy Polamalu was sitting there. You paid the price when Ray Lewis was sitting there. Now, ultimately, people sign on the dotted line. These players know what they're risking. They're risking head injuries, brain trauma, the whole CTE stuff. I get it. But at the end of the day, I hate to say this, but go back to the 1940s and 1950s. They didn't even have helmets. They had leather little things over their head, like rugby.
Yes.
And their heads were getting blown off. But that's what people love. People love violence. You go YouTube right now, NFL hardest hits, millions of views. If you watch an NFL game, people would rather see somebody get his head knocked off going across the middle than watching a one-handed catch by Odell Beckham Jr. for a touchdown. I guarantee it, because that one hit, people are going to talk about and be like, oh, and if you've been in an NFL stadium, you know what I'm talking about. It just sucks the air out of it, and it's like, whoa, that was a hard hit. No one's going to remember the fancy toe drag swag catch off the sideline, but they'll remember that great hit that Patrick Willis laid on that New York Jets, Brad Smith, wide receiver, going across the middle, and we still talk about that.
Yeah.
And today's game, Patrick Willis would probably be fined and thrown out of the game for that hit. But did you see Patrick Willis? He liked it. He knew what he did. He got up and he was like, yeah. I like player safety. I do. I'm all for player safety. I'm not saying take someone's head off and have them out for whatever. That's horrible. I would never wish that on anyone. But at the end of the day, NFL is a contact sport. Let's keep it that way. There's too many rules that are dictated in favoring the offense that's hampering and tie-stringing the defense. And then we look at all these stats. Oh, Pat Mahomes threw an NFL record. Well, yeah, because the rules have changed. Joe Montana could probably replicate that type of production if the rules were changed. But because of the Mel Blount rule that came out where you can't chuck a guy after 5 yards, that's all for naught. See, everything started from the guys way back when, and they're just fine-tuning it into an offensive trendy league today. Before, it was all about the defense, the defense and the running game. Now it's not about the defense or the running game. It's all about the offense and what makes football money, fantasy football. which is offensive football.
Yes.
So.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna get in trouble for saying that, but that's just true. That's just I just keep it 100. I mean, who here does not agree with me that you don't like violence? Like violence is fun, like controlled violence, not violence. And I mean, I'm saying not in football.
Yeah, I totally understand.
I don't want people thinking like, oh my gosh, he's saying violent, go out and kill some. No, I'm not saying that.
Yes.
I'm saying if I'm a strong safety and I see some guy going across the middle, I'm going to be headhunting.
Yes.
Not to headhunting in the terms of trying to like knock you out of the game, but just lay the wood on you to the point where if you go across the middle again, you're going to kind of have alligator arms like what Mike Schumann said, what happened with Ronnie Lott. That's why no one caught the ball with Ronnie Lott roaming down the middle. And that's why the San Francisco 49ers won all these Super Bowls. He was a big part of that because these receivers did not want to go across the middle. They would, in fact, go around Ronnie Lott if possible, even though he was a deep safety, because they knew he was a seeking missile ready to take your head off.
Yes.
But I'm all for player safety, but then I also like violence. I don't know. What do you like?
Yeah, the thing is, I enjoy that, but always what concerns me is if you look at the stories, even the latest one is who was that place? Adam Phillips. In North Carolina.
Oh yeah, that was bad. That was horrible. The whole Adam Phillips where he murdered 5 people. It was family. That was very tragic. See, that's where it kind of gets okay. So that's where I say, life is way more important than football. Football is just a game. It's just for entertainment factor. When it gets into that, that's the collateral damage of playing the NFL game. Hey, look, you can, and remember when he was playing, the player safety back then was a lot different than it is now.
Yes, that's true.
So it's really crazy, my man. It's just hard to kind of see. At the end of the day, football is a contact sport. That's all I got to say.
That I agree. The only thing that we have to worry about, there are studies that have been done now.
Oh yes,
more and more that the less number of high schools are playing football.
Yes,
the younger generation, especially now since we have this social media and everything, the information spreads so fast. Now the parents are like, okay, I don't want my kid to play football. But the game, if the game to be performing the same manner, the popularity and everything, we need those kids out there in the field. That parents, they will always worry, but we have to make sure that the game we can make sure the game is safer as much as possible.
Right.
So always there is new kids coming play. That's how the system is going on. Otherwise, eventually down the line, another 30 years, 40 years, maybe we will see what happened to baseball happening to football. So just a food of thought, but it's a discussion basically. We don't have right answers or wrong answers.
No. It's a discussion. There's no right and wrong here in the beast. Like I don't like hearing debate. I know I use that word sometimes, and it's more of a discussion because everyone has an opinion, and I welcome that. That's what the BEASTwriter family is all about. When you're here, you're part of the BEASTwriter family. Everyone's here is part of the BEASTwriter family. So it's all about good vibes only. Don't troll other people and think what do you know? Now, when someone challenges my credibility, that's when I kind of get, okay, bro, like, who are you, dude? But at the end of the day, it's like everyone values, everyone's opinion. And that's we have all 32 fan bases here, bro. I mean, people are chiming in right now. They're not even Niner fans, bro. So that just goes to show you where we're going. We're going to the top, and it's all thanks to you. So thank you so much for tuning in, my man. I really appreciate the love and support.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take it easy, my man.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
All right. That was my man, Maruna Pereira. Now we have John Jay hopping on to the live stream. John Jay's been patiently waiting. I saw you, man. What's going on, man? We have a lot of people in the stream today, man. What's going on? What's on your mind?
Well, I was trying to get on earlier, but, today's been a crazy day, outside of, my YouTube world. Everyone has an outside world, so I had to get out of the stream, take care of the stuff. But now I'm back. I'm a little bit, winded. I'm not going to say what I was doing, but it's like home makeover stuff. That stuff. So anyway, I was listening to the guy who was on before me, and he was talking about the NFL injury stuff, and many people, hopefully they understand it. If you've played football, like I said, I was a horrible football player. I played high school. I was like trash. I
even play high. My parents wouldn't let me play high school because my cousins and uncles all had like really crazy threatening injuries. I ultimately was going to play senior year. I got to the nod from from my mom to play senior year. The coaches wanted me to play all along, and then I got hit by a car, so that ended my year. So you're ahead of me. I did play in college though. I did play D1 intramurals in college, so that kind of picked up the slack. But yeah, I wish I would have played high school. I would have knocked some people out, dude, for sure. But what's going on? No, getting back to you. So you played football. Go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, I was like special teams, and a lot of my friends were like, "Oh man, that's easy. All you do is punt returns, kickoff returns, block for the returners. But you still got to work out with the team. You got to do all the drills." So I played baseball after that. Baseball was a more slower sport. Plus, I grew up playing baseball. Like I grew up in a family of baseball. My brother was better than me. He was a catcher. Okay. So yeah. So like even if you're like like a practice squad guy, and many people don't know, those guys also get hurt.
Oh yeah.
I remember the last year at Candlestick. I work with the recreation department in San Francisco, and we were invited to the last year, and we were at Candlestick, and we were talking to some of the practice squad players that were talking to us. And I asked one of the practice squad players, and I asked him, "Hey, do you guys get injured during the practice?" And they say, excuse my language, they say, "Hell yeah, we get hurt during the practices." Many people think, oh, in practices, there's no contact, they're not sacking the quarterback, but injuries happen. Like I remember when like the Jimmy Garoppolo, we got to trade him started. They're like, oh man, he's weak, in practices he doesn't get hits, but it's a contact sport, and many people who like give Garoppolo a hard time, like I understand the human being, oh, he got hurt, ACL, you don't put ice on it and it heals up. High ankle sprain, a doctor says it's about 4 to 6 weeks. He came back after 2 weeks, big mistake. Right. So when you look at the logic, you can understand, the injuries of the players. Right. But when you look at as a fan, you're like, oh man, why did he come in? He should have stayed on the bench, like et cetera, et cetera. People make their excuses. But so if you've never played any type of sport, like I played baseball and I would get hit a lot on my shoulder all the time. And one time it hit me. Oh, I was on the ground, like a little bit like pain. The pain went away, but it was like, it was sore for a few days. So if you never played any type of sport, injuries happen.
They do. And I played basketball throughout ever since the age of 4. So 4 all the way through high school. And I would say even my friends that played football, they said basketball is more of a contact sport because there's no pads. And in basketball, legit, I mean, there's elbows being thrown down in the box. I mean, me being 5'5", I mean, I had to get throw my weight around, and I'm not the tallest guy or the strongest guy at that time. So you really have to know how to leverage in space, and spacing plays a huge part of that. Ultimately, basketball, what people don't realize is it's more contact than people realize. I mean, you're setting screens, you're setting picks and rolls. When you're an on-ball defender, and even when you're in denial position, one pass away, or even in a help position, you're always trying to close in on that gap. So that gap closes hard, and then you're taking a charge, or you're taking there's a lot of things that can come into play with that down inside the paint. So I mean, looking back at guys like Allen Iverson, right? He's not the tallest, but he took a beating, bro. I mean, that guy took a beating. That's why he's my all-time favorite basketball player. That's the guy I kind of emulated, modeled my game after, because I was short, so I needed to know how to create spacing for myself. He was an excellent guy at doing that, creating a shot for himself. So I picked up a lot of things from him. But ultimately, what people don't realize is whether you play baseball, basketball, football, it's all a contact sport. No matter how well you cut it. And injuries are going to happen, like you said. So getting back to your point, it's just part of the game. But I would say some are just injury prone, dude. Like some are just like, I mean, I played with some high school, I'm not going to name drop my teammates, but they're good, but gosh dang it, they can't stay healthy. Legit, What happened to you? Oh, I was freaking on my bike and my foot got caught in the wheel. Well, how the heck did that happen? How does that happen? And now you're out for 2 to 3 weeks. You have a sprained ankle from that because the thing was like going around and like freak accidents. Like, how does that happen? Or you're playing basketball and you throw him a pass, breaks his finger. How do you like? What are the chances you're going to break your finger on a legit chest pass where you're standing 10 feet away from me? I mean, how does that happen? The same guy. And then once he's healthy, oh, what happened? Oh, man, I just tore my ace. How the hell? Setting a pick? How did that happen? Like, I'm telling you, it happens. And I'm looking at this guy like, dude, you had all the talent in the world looking back. You could actually play D1, dude, and you just kind of messed up. So I see what you're saying. We got a question from Keyjohn's5, or actually a analysis piece, I would say. Thank you so much for your generosity, Keyjohns. He says, Lance is the pick. He's raw, which I think Shanny would love since he can mold him how he wants and get all the credit for making Lance. I feed his ego. I like it. What do you think on that? What are your thoughts there?
Well, as a Lance guy, I've been watching a lot of, film, not the highlights, because, the highlights, he looks so good, but the films, and there are a few, YouTube channels that actually show the film and they, diagnose the man coverage, the different types of zone, how, he, runs, when he's running with the ball, how, he passes, all that stuff. And it is true, in 2020, that showcase game was just idiotic. I don't know why he did that.
Right.
But a lot of people, even like the Panthers, Atlanta, they want to know what San Francisco is going to do because, they were at that, pro day as well. And, they're also intrigued with Lance, like the Washington football team, they want to trade up because they really like him. So for me, yes, he is a project. Like I understand, he's not going to come in day one, take over the starting job of whoever team he's going to go. And, he's going to blow it up. He's going to basically take his time. And that's the reason why I believe, he's going to have a more productive career because he's going to fall, deeper. The lower you fall, I don't know who said this. I heard it on NFL Network, but the further you fall down, look at Lamar Jackson. Was he a talented passer in college? He was a good runner, but the Baltimore Ravens had a really good team.
Right.
And when Joe Flacco was playing horrible, he was 4-6. They were not even in the playoff. And Harbaugh said, you know what? He comes in, all he does is run his rookie year. And he wins 6 out of the 7 starts. Then he wins the MVP. But one of the criticism that a lot of people say, he has to learn how to become a pocket passer. Because if he continues to do that in the next 5 years, he's going to suffer what Steve McNair suffered, a lot of injuries. So you do need a guy who still is in the pocket. That's why a lot of people, Mac Jones, he stays in the pocket. But Justin Fields, he's a little bit mobile. He's not like Lamar Jackson. So it's hard to say these quarterbacks are going to be this, this, and this because they haven't played any football games yet. Right. That's why San Francisco, what they're doing is smart. And I know the Niners are playing this chess game with the media. Yeah, we're going to get Mac Jones. They're winking their eye. And then on the third pick, it says Trey Lance or Justin Fields and all the Mac Jones people. Oh, you got it wrong, experts.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be saying, hey, you should have watched that BEASTwriter guy. He had it right.
Yeah. I just don't see that happening, dude. But time will tell, dude. I mean, I could be wrong, dude. That's what I'm saying. Everyone expects me to be right 100% of the time. That's the standard that I put for myself. And you've been following me for many years. And when I get it wrong, they come out, the crickets come out. It's not very often. I'm due to get it wrong some point. I mean, 7 years running. I mean, I'm due to get it wrong somewhere. I can't fathom that it's going to be Mac Jones at 3. Just saying it out loud just makes me laugh. But thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I appreciate the love.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on. And I want to give a shout out to you, man, because today I hit 500 subscribers, and I know you did a big part of that because you were telling all your, followers to follow me. So thanks very much, man. Thanks very much, man.
Follow this guy. Let's get him to 1,000. Let's get him to 1,000. Thank you so much, John Jay. Appreciate you, my man. All right, we have my man Keith Murphy in the house.
BEASTwriter?
Hold on, man? I gotta do the proper intro for my man Keith Murphy. Keith Murphy. Follow him at what? Keith Murphy? What's your YouTube?
Keith Murphy.
There you go. Follow him. Post a comment in here so then that your account thing will show up and then they could just follow and subscribe to you. That'd be smart. So what's on your mind though? What's going on?
Did you see that article in The Athletic? I think I tweeted it at you.
I rarely go on Twitter, dude. That's the thing. Okay. It's like I try to, ever since they unverified me for changing my name from BEASTwriter _ to BEASTwriter, and then trying to get it back, dude. Isn't that crazy how they unverified me? Because I changed my Twitter handle from BEASTwriter _ to BEASTwriter, and then I'm
crazy.
Dude, you're telling me you've been verified ever since I even asked to be verified. They obviously knew I was a person of interest. And so anyways, I'm working with them on getting it back. Hopefully I get that back. So I'm not on Twitter much. That's why I'm just like, forget it then.
I'm not either. I just started going on there, especially since like the draft, and now I'm kind of enjoying myself up there. But
yeah.
Article I tweeted you was about John Beck, quarterback coach, used to be the backup up in Washington.
Yeah. When did you tweet that to me? Let me look right now.
It was in the last 2 or 3 hours.
Oh shoot! Okay.
Yeah. I was like, he probably hasn't seen it.
No, I didn't see it. I see it now. You legit tagged me at BEASTwriter. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on with that? Give me your insight.
The Athletic guy wrote an article about how close Shanahan and John Beck are, and John Beck has been working with Justin Fields the last 3 months, and he goes into quotes about how Shanahan calls to ask questions about Justin Fields, and now since and very recently, now Trey Lance is working with John Beck as well. So
interesting.
It just goes into John Beck, how he talks to him and how close their relationship is. And the guy, I can't think of the guy who wrote it. I read the article. It's a very good article. And his conclusion was that to him, that means the pick is down to Fields and Lance.
Go figure. You heard it here first on the BEASTwriter family. I told you, bro. I told you.
And so
you said it too. You said it too.
I did. I've been saying it. I didn't know all that information. And so they also said that Beck designed the plays or coordinated the plays for Fields or whatever passes he was going to do for his pro days and for this pro days. And so these last 3 months, he has been working on Shanahan concepts and stuff like that. And it makes sense too. I think Zach Wilson is working with them too. And it makes sense because the Jets are going to be running our offense because they took our pass coordinator, right?
Yep, exactly.
So I think that's another reason why John and Kyle are playing this so close to the cuff, because they don't want the Jets to know who they really like, because then the Jets might be like, well, maybe we should select them. We're trying to run a version of that Shanahan offense.
Yeah, and if you're going to run Shanahan's offense, whether it be Mike or Kyle, you need someone that can run play action pass.
That's right.
And if you can't run play action pass consistently, throwing on the run with pressure when you're under duress and be accurate with that throw, it's not Mac Jones. They're not going to take.
I mean, it's just like I've said on here before. I think it worked good for them to put that out there.
Yeah.
You cannot. It would be one thing to be at 3 and we didn't trade up to get there and they really like Mac Jones. That still would be a hard sell. But to move heaven and earth, you can't move heaven and earth for somebody that doesn't have anything that's special. It's not like he's 6'5" like Peyton Manning.
Right.
Or there's a reason Tom Brady and Drew Brees went in the second round and Tom Brady went in the 6th round, because they don't have that it factor as far as what you look for in a number 1 pick physically, right?
Right.
Now, after you know what they did in their career, of course you would take them in the 1st round. But, Joe Montana was a 3rd rounder, and as much as I love Joe Montana, as far as his physical gift, Steve Young is a more enticing prospect if I was to see them on the college level, right?
All right. So, let me just break down to you. I don't know if you have ESPN Insider. I'm going to break down the 2021 NFL mock draft by ESPN Mel Kiper, all right? So number 1, he has Trevor Lawrence. Number 2, he has Zach Wilson. Number 3, he has Mac Jones. Right. And this is what he says on Mac Jones. It's hard to ignore the Jones to San Francisco buzz within the league. Every sign 2 weeks out from the draft points to general manager John Lynch and coach Kyle Shanahan being infatuated with Jones. I think he's the quarterback they traded up 9 spots to take. This is coming from Mel Kiper. Is he the perfect for Shanahan's offense? Only time will tell. Jones is my 4th-ranked quarterback and is number 12 on my big board, and I'm not sure I see a superstar when I watch him on tape. He's solid and extremely accurate, but not spectacular. Lynch and Shanahan are obviously taking the long view here, and the decision-making is going to be discussed and debated for years. So he's not high on that. Then he has the Falcons trading out with the Miami Dolphins to number 4. The Miami Dolphins move up from 6 to 4.
Again?
Yes, to take Kyle Pitts out of Florida. His analysis is, you didn't see this one coming, did ya? All along, we've talked about the Dolphins adding weapons for Tua Tagovailoa, and Pitts is the ultimate weapon in this class. Why couldn't they take him? This gives Miami 4 really good pass catchers around Tagovailoa and Pitts, Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, and Mike Gesicki. Pitts and Gesicki are versatile enough to play inline or out wide. They're matchup nightmares for defenses, and another thing to note, several teams have Pitts at number 2 overall on their big boards. Miami also gets to keep its pick at number 18 to get help on defense. Number 5, he has the Bengals selecting Penei Sewell. And I don't agree with that. I think they have Jonah Williams already. They also, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they get Riley Reif to play right tackle?
That's right. I
don't know if they would go after Penei Sewell to play right tackle when you're drafting a tackle inside the top 5 to play majority left tackle. I don't know.
I think they're still scared because their quarterback got hurt too, though.
I know.
It might be somebody where they can switch people. They switch those offensive linemen sometimes based on what they think their skill set can be.
That's true. So
you don't know what they're thinking as far as that. There is a meme going. I'm in a Cincinnati sports talk group for whatever reason on Facebook. Okay. And, they're on to the Bengals. So there's a meme that they're throwing where Jamar Chase is getting wide open, right? Yeah. And then Joe Burrow's getting sacked. And then there's on the bottom of the meme is they draft Penei Sewell and he has a clean pocket.
Oh. So they like Penei Sewell.
They do like Penei Sewell. At least some of the fans do.
All right. Interesting. That's funny. Atlanta Falcons then select Trey Lance with the number 6 overall pick after they traded back. Detroit Lions go and get Jamar Chase. He's the first wide receiver off the board. Number 8, Carolina Panthers get Devontae Smith. Number 9, Denver Broncos get Micah Parsons. And then we have another trade. The Patriots move up with the Dallas Cowboys from 15 to 10 to take Justin Fields.
No way.
That's what he has. And he says this. He says,
I know. Go ahead.
With only one of the top 5 quarterbacks still available, the Patriots jump 5 spots with the Cowboys, giving Dallas their 2022 first-round pick in return. The Cowboys don't need a quarterback, so they'd be thrilled to get an offer like this and move down only a few spots. Actually, it's 5 spots because their biggest holes are on defense and they can get a good player at number 15. This would be the first time in the common draft era since 1967 that 5 quarterbacks went in the top 10 picks. The quickest that 5 quarterbacks were picked was in 1999 when 5 went inside the top 12. There's some analysis for you. At number 11, the New York Giants get Jalen Waddle. The Philadelphia Eagles at 12 get Patrick Surtain Jr. At number 13, the Chargers get Rashawn Slater. At number 14, the Minnesota Vikings get Christian Darrisaw. Number 15, Dallas Cowboys strike out and get J.C. Horn. Strike gold. Arizona Cardinals get Caleb Farley. Las Vegas Raiders get Elijah Vera Tucker. The Miami Dolphins, with their second first-round pick, go defense and get Kwity Paye. I don't like that pick. Washington football team gets Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. The Chicago Bears at 20 get Tevin Jenkins. I don't like that pick either, but they obviously need offensive line help. Indianapolis Colts get Jalen Phillips. The Tennessee Titans at 22 get Elijah Moore. The New York Jets, Mel Kiper has them taking Greg Newsome II. The Pittsburgh Steelers strike gold with Najee Harris at 24. That's going to be the steal and arguably my draft crush. He's going to be arguably the offensive player of the year when it's all said and done. I guarantee that. Or offensive rookie of the year, I should say. Jacksonville Jaguars get Trayvon Moehrig. The Cleveland Browns get Jamin Davis. At 27, the Baltimore Ravens get Terrace Marshall. I like him. New Orleans Saints get Zaven Collins. Green Bay Packers at 29 get Rashad Bateman. The Buffalo Bills get Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. And the Kansas City Chiefs get Jason Owe from Penn State. And the Tampa Bay Bucks get Christian Barmore from Alabama, defensive tackle. Look at that. I mean, that's the first round for Mel Kiper.
Right.
I don't know. That's going to be interesting how that plays out.
I always say this. What he said about San Francisco, us at 3, the whole thing you read makes absolutely no sense. I don't see them being a superstar, but Kyle and Mike are going to take him because they've fallen in love with what?
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
infatuated with him.
how do they know that? First off, like I said yesterday on here, any big
Mm-hmm.
move we've ever made,
Mm-hmm.
or since they've been here,
Yeah.
you didn't find out about it till it happened. But all of
Right.
a sudden, everybody knows that they're infatuated with Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I can't buy that, and so I think it's lazy analysis on
Mel Kiper?
Yeah, I do, because he pretty much is just saying, I'm putting him here because I've heard about it. For me, I have the courage and my convictions. I would say what makes sense to me. I'm not just going to follow what everybody else is going to say.
Right.
I think
Exactly.
Trevor Lawrence is going to go 1 because he's going to go 1. I think Zach Wilson's going to go 2. And I think Justin Fields will go 3. But because I'm measuring the player, not what I think a coach might love, and you trade 3 number 1 picks for Mac Jones, it does not make any sense.
It's not going to happen. It's not Mac Jones. And that's why I said, like, immediately after everyone was saying Mac Jones, I was like, this is my time to shine. This is my time to
right.
You know what I'm saying? This is why people they're like, BEASTwriter, what's your take? BEASTwriter, I was like, you know what? I'm going to hop on the live stream. Here's another bold take. Right. It's not Mac Jones. We'll go, whoa, BEASTwriter, it's not Mac Jones. I'll put and then now people are saying, oh, it's not Mac Jones now. It's not Mac Jones now. Oh, they're seeing Justin Fields. Oh, Trey Lance, second pro day. Oh, man, this is all old news for us, bro.
It just shows you that if the right person says something, everybody will believe it. And that's just not, just because Adam Schefter says something, it doesn't mean it's not credible, but his guess is just as good as mine, right? Now. He doesn't have the exact answer. And when you look at, I listen to Guy and Habersham, or I forgot who their names, but man, they're good. They said the hits that we have had in the draft since Kyle and John have been here have been guys with physical traits that were exceptional, right? Ayuk with the speed. At least we think he's trending to be a really good receiver.
Right.
Bosa, physical freak. You know what I mean? The jury's out on Kinlaw, but he's 6'5", whatever, 300 pounds, and I think he had a pretty good rookie year.
No, he was horrible.
You didn't think so? Well, I mean,
in my grading system, he was bad, bro. In my grading system, Raekwon Davis, Justin Matabuki from the Baltimore Ravens graded higher, even for a rookie. And I'm not talking about. I'm just talking about run stuffing. I'm not talking about the pass rush. That's a different story.
Right.
I'm telling you. I mean, Javon Kinlaw wasn't horrible. I'm exaggerating, but he was average. He was average.
Yeah,
he was
average. Would say, okay, if we're gonna compare him to DeForest Buckner, he's average. Even bad. I mean,
even
DeForest Buckner's
that's the thing. People were comparing. I don't want to stop you, but I just want to make a point. Again, my grading system will prove this. DeForest Buckner had a better rookie season than freaking Javon Kinlaw did, and people tend to forget who had more snaps. DeForest Buckner. They ran him to the ground, and he never got tired.
That's right.
He for all rookies and all defensive linemen, he ranked in the top 5 in tackles for a defensive lineman playing in a 3-4 base, not a 4-3 base.
That's right.
It was a 34 base.
Right.
That's mind-blowing. Like that's.
I don't think that's a trade we wanted to make. I think it was a cap trade that we made. I would have rather kept Buckner and shipped Armstead off.
Okay, you when Armstead comes at me sideways, you'd be like, I have BEASTwriter's back, and he comes at me sideways again, and be like, yeah, okay, Dennis Stubblefield 2.0, whatever.
Right.
Because look, dude, Eric Armstead's going to have a good year this year. I think he's going to have like 12, 15 sacks. And the reason I say that is because Bosa's back. Javon Kinlaw gets a second year. He's going to have 5 to 9 sacks. So the focus isn't on Armstead anymore. So he's like, it's party time.
I think that is true. But I think as a standalone player, Buckner is a little bit better. That's just my view.
No, Buckner's wait, Buckner's in a different level.
But yes, I think Mel Kiper. I think when ESPN they get on there and they say stuff, but then when I get on there and listen to people like you, and you kind of definitely have been doing this a long time and know things, I think they just go with like the pop music thing to say versus actually analyzing and seeing if that makes sense. Then they talk themselves into Mac Jones, and then now they're building it up to be some big surprise when San Francisco doesn't pick him. Where, as for me, It never was a surprise. He does not have the physical tools to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft. That's period, point blank. And the last guy that they did that, he hasn't busted yet, but Baker Mayfield did not have the physical traits to be a number 1 pick.
Right.
And he's the one in that draft. You know, Josh Allen and Lamar kicking butt.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you actually hit it on the nail, man. And listen, the sources that these guys get are from credible sources. They are. I know firsthand. I mean, they're good. They're strong sources.
Right.
But then again, they can probably I can only speak for like this is like assuming, right? But this hypothetically, if someone's giving you strong information 9 times out of 10, and then they say, "Hey, can you put this out?" And just because obviously you're Mel Kiper, can you put this out for us? Even though it's not true, just put it out. You'll get clickbait out of it. We're going to tell Adam Schefter the same thing. And then that way we'll kind of drive the attention over to something else.
Right. 100%. Can I ask you something real quick?
Yeah.
Who do you think, I'm not asking what input that people, because I think Kyle's going to get input from all kinds of coaches and all that, right?
Okay.
But who do you think is going to actually be in the decision room? How many people?
Oh. Okay, for sure. I know for a fact it's going to be Ethan Maud, the director of college scouting. Obviously, you have John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan.
Right. Adam Peters.
Adam Peters definitely is going to be in there. I'd have to say Parag might be in there.
And Jed York.
Oh, yeah. For sure, Jed York going to be in there. Because I'm thinking on draft day, because when I'm there, right? I'm there at Levi's Stadium.
The decision will be made before the draft. At least they'll have their board together. I'm saying on this quarterback, who is going to make
Kyle Shanahan has the final say.
He has the final say, but do you think there'll be more than 6 or 7 people in that room? Or that
no.
I don't either. So I don't think
so.
Knows.
No. No. Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, Kyle Shanahan doesn't want too many ears.
Because he doesn't want it to get out.
He doesn't want it to get out, and he's very egotistical in a sense where I know my system. This is my system. I know the quarterback that I can win with.
Right.
All bets are off, and that's the power struggle that he's going to have with John Lynch. Because reports earlier came out that he wanted one quarterback, and I mean that was a smokescreen too.
I don't think that's true.
You're right.
Do you think that's? Right. I don't think it's true.
No, it's smokescreen.
Right.
They knew who they wanted.
It makes them look like they're not in lockstep together.
Yes.
It makes it look like there's chaos, kind of, in that they're not organized.
Yeah. It's just going to be interesting to me because at the end of the day, it's like, dude, like we all know where this is going, man. Here in the BEASTwriter family, we're not stupid. Right? You know where it's going. You know where they're going to do at 3. Like, what's all this BS? Like, if you want to go and listen to like clickbait and then see, oh, well, Mel Kiper. And then listen, Mel Kiper's Mel Kiper for a reason. I'm not ESPN. I'm freaking doing this from home. He's the big bucks. Ultimately, again, it comes down to having a brain.
Well,
what does your own brain tell you?
He also has to give you something to talk about and give you a reason to watch him, right?
Yeah, because it's page views. It's entertainment.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. Throughout the year, this is the only job. The only job where they get hot takes is draft season. So throughout the whole draft, that's why you see the mock drafts come out. Their preseason mock draft rate. There's a system. The preseason mock draft rankings during the year they have it, and then once the draft rolls around with the combine, then things change up, and then all of a sudden, Jamin Davis comes out of nowhere. Players like that come out of nowhere, jump in the top 5 when they weren't even on the top 50 big board. They drop all of a sudden in the top 25. Like, how did that happen? It's all for clickbait.
Right.
They were there all along. It's just how you formulate the system and work it.
Right.
Come on, dude. That's like, it's every single year. Ever since I started covering it, I picked up on that right away. I was like, why? And I'm literally writing it down, like, oh, that's weird. How? And then I track, 3 to 4 players every year around this time. They move up into the.
I will give him credit, though, because he did say, I think one of his first mock drafts, he had us moving up to 7, right?
Okay.
And then the second one, he had Carolina moving up to 3, which I do think Carolina might have been kicking the tire because they're one of the main teams that we've heard been quarterback hunting too.
Right.
Right. So
good
what
point.
Does that question say?
Just heard from a clean pocket. Justin Fields has the best touchdown interception ratio in FBS history, 54-4. Can someone explain to me why folks hate him so much? Why do folks hate Justin Fields? Hate's a strong word. I say strongly dislike.
I don't even say strongly dislike. I just say overly critical. I don't see a lot of people. I just think he's taking a beating. I honestly think, look, I listened to Rich Eisen. He said he knows a GM, he wouldn't say his name, that put out bad press on a certain player so he would fall in the draft. Then he drafted the dude, and the dude is a Hall of Famer, but he won't say who the player was or the GM, right? So I think some of this is teams wanting Justin Fields to fall to them.
Yep.
I also think when somebody's been good like so long, people look for reasons to knock him. But I think the number one reason is people want him to fall. I would be shocked if he made it to 10, because you don't go from being the number 2 draft pick or number 2 quarterback in the class to number 5 since we stopped playing games. And
he's not going to fall. You're right. He's not going to fall outside the top 10. And that your Rich Eisen story just goes back to what I was saying is they'll throw out these 9 out of 10 times. Hey, we'll do you a solid. Just throw this one out there. Your credibility is on the line. I get it. We'll give you the right answer once draft day rolls around. Because once the actual draft, one day before the draft rolls around, that's when we check the mocks. And that's when, trust me, I know how it works. That's when NFL GMs check their mocks. They don't care about what's going on right now. The only thing that they care about right now is the buzz and then whether or not they're going to make moves and then throwing out leaks and smoke screens. That's why I say it's all I trust. Right. You don't have to be in the know to know. It's just kind of common sense and connecting the dots. Like I always say in my podcast, like I can put up a podcast and 3 months from now, it could be 3 months in the future and it would still hold up today. Right.
That's
if you literally go back.
Right.
We have to be forward thinking. You're forward thinking. The BEASTwriter family has to always be 2-3 steps ahead of the game. So when stuff comes out on ESPN, NFL Network, or whatever outlet, The Athletic, it's already old news. Right. Like, for instance, like reports came out. I think Matt Milka said, that Najee Harris thought that he was going to be drafted to the 49ers at number 12 if they were to hold the pick. Well, who said that? Right here.
Right.
I said Najee Harris at 12.
Right.
And it's like, that's old news. That's like 2 months ago, bro. Like... It's like late to the game.
Right.
You've got to think outside the box and be spot on and get it right.
You can think outside the box, but most things are 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Don't try to make so many conspiracy theories and all this.
Yeah.
In my head, I just say what would make sense to me. Like I think a caller yesterday said, "What about trading a number 3 and Jimmy to the Packers?" And I'm like, we can't talk about things that are not going to happen. First off, the Packers are not trading Aaron Rodgers to us, at least not this year. And I mean, that's on their own terms. Would I like Kyle Pitts? Yeah, but we already gave up 2 1s and a third, so we could go get a quarterback. Let's keep on brand. Let's keep on message,
No, absolutely, dude. And like you bring great points. I mean, we talk about the quarterback situation because everyone wants to know about the quarterback position. But at the end of the day, it's like, what happens after 3? What are they going to do in the second round? Let's talk about that. What are the freaking 49? What are all the teams going to do in the second round? Who do you have them take? Who do you have the Niners taking? You're a Niner fan. Who do you have them taking in the second round with the 43rd overall pick in the NFL draft?
We've talked about this before, and I have wavered back and forth between DB and running back.
Yep. Okay.
If I go DB, I want Asante Samuel Jr.
Ooh, I like it. I would be extremely. We should be in the same war room. I like it. I like the kid out of Florida State. No, I'm serious.
Right.
If you go running back, I would say Javonte Williams or Michael Carter. I'd be happy with either or, and especially for Kyle Shanahan's system.
Yeah, I'm trying to think: is he going to spend a high pick on a running back?
He should, because these running backs he has can't hold up. They're weak in the knees, bro. They can't hold up for a full 16-game schedule, let alone a 17-game schedule and a deep playoff run. So if they're going to go all the way, they can't do this running back by committee approach any longer, because once you hit that playoff run, the rapport with the running back has already been set. And if someone gets injured, now you have to play musical chairs with the running back position heading into the playoffs in a deep playoff run, where you're kind of at a disadvantage at that point, where the other teams already have that gear in fourth, fifth gear instead of restarting and hitting off from maybe second or third gear. So it's a huge difference. And that's why I think getting a running back early in the draft is a smart move. Now, will he do it? Probably not, because he thinks he could find a running back in the 5th round or 6th round, like his dad did.
He did throw a lot of money at Jerick McKinnon.
Oh, jeez.
Right.
Yeah, he did. Jeez.
So let's see. I'm trying to think, and when the last time he took a running back, has he taken a running back high since he's been here?
I mean, Joe Williams was a 4th round pick. Is he considered a high round pick?
I would say 4th is you still want good bang for your buck. It's not like, not like a Najee Harris top a 1st or 2nd round, obviously, but a 4th you probably would expect to make your team and contribute, right?
I just feel like you take the best player. Like, it comes from like what did you watch Jim Trotter's live stream with me? The one with Jim Trotter? So we talked about BPA regardless of need, right? Because everything will work itself out. And Ozzie Newsome being the
the Ravens, that's what they do, 100%.
That's what they do, and
it paid off for them.
It pays off year after year, man. Because like at the end of the day, well, obviously, if you have Najee Harris and he's a 1,200-yard back, you're not going to draft another 1,200-yard back, right? Even though he's you going to, I mean, but mainly within reason, yeah.
Right.
You're not going to take 2 quarterbacks just because he's the best player on the board. Like, you're not going to go Zach Wilson and have to pick Justin Fields because he's the best player. Like,
right.
People need to know the difference between smart and stupid. But getting back to it,
I'm sure he has a draft strategy and something they look at, and just the way he does it, it works. Like even how he got Lamar, that was genius.
Right.
And so they always seem like they have the same team. Different players every 5 years, but they beat you up on defense and they run the ball down your throat. And that's just what they do.
That is what they do. And ultimately, it comes down to Jimmy Garoppolo. Is he going to be the quarterback? Gosh dang it, dude. Like, that's the question. And everyone's saying he's going to be the quarterback. Ultimately, if I am GM John Lynch, I would trade Jimmy Garoppolo's ass right now.
Right.
I would trade Jimmy Garoppolo. And here's the reason why, dude. I'm telling you. He's damaged goods. He's messed up in the head because all this trade talk that's going around. We're still talking about it here on this live stream. Michael Miller just said he might be traded to the Jets, which makes perfect logical sense.
Right.
So he to the Patriots. That's obviously still in play.
Why not get traded to the Jets?
But why? Right. But why not get draft capital in return, bro? You know what I'm saying? And then you have 2 second-round picks, and then you can possibly maybe leverage those 2 second-round picks to move up back into the 1st round if you see fit.
So
to get a player like Najee Harris, I mean, dope. How would you like to have Justin Fields and Najee Harris, bro?
Well, Najee Harris is not falling to the 2nd round.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you trade up back in the 1st round.
Well, Jimmy, let me ask you this: we traded a 2nd round to get Jimmy, right?
Yeah, so they're not going to give up a 1st.
They're not going to give up. Would you give up a 2nd for Jimmy?
Yes.
Okay.
It depends where I'm picking in the 2nd round. So,
okay.
I'm not going to pick in the top 15. If it's in the top 15 picks, again, that's where draft valuation comes into play. And people don't realize that. People have valuation charts. But me, personally, after talking to many different GMs over the course of the years, don't go by the valuation chart. If a team likes a player, they will give up whatever it costs to get that player.
Right.
And that's why people say, well, the valuation chart doesn't add up. I'm like, we'll throw that out the window because no one goes by that.
Hey, we just did that to get a quarterback.
They just, yeah, exactly. So that's why I say, Jimmy Garoppolo, yes, a day 2 pick, probably in the if I can get him for like the 25-30 range in the 2nd round, then yes, I pull the trigger. But top 15, I don't know, that's too high.
No.
Yeah.
And nobody that needs a quarterback, like, who would want to give up anything to get Jimmy? I'm trying to think of a team. It won't be the Jets. Believe that. They're picking a quarterback.
Yeah. Antonio Rosales from BEASTwriter found says Caleb Farley falls to 2nd round, I bet. I can see that happening. What do you think of Caleb Farley? I am not high in him at all.
Me neither.
Oh, you're not either. Thank you. Wow, we agree. Well, no, I'm serious because people are like, well, Mel Kiper says he's the best rated player. I'm like, well, I ain't Mel Kiper, dude. Like, Mel Kiper also said in 2014, Justin Gilbert was the number 1 rated quarterback. I said, no, Jason Verrett and Kyle Fuller are going to be better pros. And people are like, that's when I first started, and that's when my predictions started coming into play. And people were like, who is this guy around draft season? Right. And I said, oh, Jordan Matthews is going to have a great Senior Bowl, and he did. Jerry Rice's nephew? Oh my gosh, he did.
Did you see that today, by the way?
Huh?
Did you see Jerry Rice's Instagram today?
No, what happened?
He sent a message to Justin Fields on his Instagram.
Oh, he did?
He said, yeah, I can't remember, but he said something like, they said I wasn't fast. I ran a 4.5, 4.6. He said, but those clocks didn't work when I was running into the end zone.
Oh,
guys couldn't catch me. And so he's pretty much telling them, don't listen to the haters, go do your thing. But Jerry Rice sent Justin Fields a message about his pro day today.
Awesome. That's interesting. And the pro day wasn't televised, right? If I remember.
I don't think so.
So I tried looking for it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. It's not on TV.
I couldn't even find out what time it started.
It's private. They keep things very close. It's private. They don't want us to know what's going on. You know why? Because I guarantee probably the Niners, they're probably like, hey, we don't want media here. This is a private workout, because private workouts aren't televised. You know that, right?
Yes. So what about the teams that were there? We know who was there. Denver, Carolina.
Atlanta,
San Francisco.
And
the Jets were there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it had to be, and the Patriots.
Hey, I'm going to do something cool. We're going to have three-way. You want to try this?
Sure.
All right, we're going to have my man CJ Ruthless Sports. I've never done a three-way before. Live stream. Let's see how this works. Oh, look at that. All right, hold on. Let's see if this works. Hold on. Let me see if I. Oh shoot. Hold on. Let me add you back in here. Hold on. All right. How you doing? I think this works.
Yeah, doing fine. Yeah, I just saw the Justin Field Pro Day. It seems to me that thing's going viral. It's trending a little bit because Shanahan's all talking with Justin Fields on the Pro Day. So there's a hint there. But the one that stood out to me was what Josh Allen said to Trey Lance. Don't let the doubters talk. Let your play do the talking. I think maybe this might be the secret guy.
So what are your thoughts on this? Like, who do you want to be the quarterback at 3? You talked about this yesterday, but I want people to know exactly who you want at 3.
Trey Lance.
Yes. Okay. Who do you want? Keith Murphy.
You know who I want? Justin Fields.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, no disagree there. Either one's going to succeed. So,
yeah, this is my only knock on Trey Lance. I don't even have a knock on him. I actually love the kid's game. It would be difficult for me to trade draft capital for somebody who didn't play this year. And then in the game he did play, they talk about Fields' bad games. Like, he had 15 to 30 against Central Arkansas. You know, that's the only film you put out there this year.
I mean, not too much negative side on him. Yeah, the competition may be questionable, but look at the way how Josh Allen played at Wyoming. He played against one of the weakest competition. You look at Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz had 1 year start experience at North Dakota State, or was it I think 2 years?
2.
Oh, 2 years? Okay. Yeah. So, but it's kind of a little bit debatable right there. But Justin Fields, yeah, he does have 2-year experience as a starter at Ohio State. So he does play the big game. So he does have the work ethic. He does have the ability to improve the way he's been throwing the ball. I think the offense that we're going to run, this is what he's pushing for. I think he's pushing for Shanahan to draft him. I think that's why he wants to go to that pro day.
I think every quarterback is pushing for Shanahan to draft him.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a quarterback that doesn't want to come to San Francisco.
Oh, no. They all want to. I think Mac Jones is trying to push for his naked bootleg stuff and all that other stuff. Then you got Trey Lance doing the same thing. It's more like they're all going for a job interview with Shanahan. Say, hey, I want this job already. Can you pick me?
Yes, that's what they're doing. It's true.
Yep. Hey, valid point, man.
There's a question for me, but I'm just going to answer this. This could be for you guys too. Paris Bro says from the BEASTwriter family, Beast, what are your thoughts on Kellen Mond? I'm not high in Kellen Mond. Now watch him be an all-pro player. I just don't like what I see in Kellen Mond's game. I don't know why people are so high on him. Yeah, he has a critical factors. He has the height, weight, speed for the quarterback position. Yeah, he has a strong arm. Compared to the top elite quarterbacks in this draft class, I just don't see enough accuracy in his game to warrant being high on him. What are your thoughts there?
Well, he was moving up draft boards because of the way he did at the Senior Bowl. Like when I looked at his highlights, there was a little bit of accuracy issues on his game, but maybe it's because of the talent he has around him. But the more I watch him, the more he's more like a project. Like you got to give him at least a year or two to fully develop. Like you know how they're trying to put in the comparisons of him as Dak Prescott. I just don't see it. I just don't see it in him.
What about you, Keith? What are your thoughts there on Kellen
I'm not high
Mond?
on Kellen Mond at all. I mean, I think he had a good year. And to his point, I'll give Kellen Mond credit for going 9-1 with pretty much none of the talent he had the year before. But as a pro prospect, I'm trying to find a good comp for him where I think he can be average, like a Teddy Bridgewater, right?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. Good argument right there.
I don't look at him like that he has a chance to be that.
Oh, you're muted, bro. I can't hear you.
Call your mother.
Oh, there you go.
You're better. Trying to get. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. So.
Sorry, my son interrupted me real quick.
No, you're good, bro.
Yeah, I think Teddy Bridgewater is the comp for me that I'm not gonna say that can be his ceiling because you don't know. Like I don't know, but I don't see that oomph that to be a superstar in the NFL.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you guys. You guys, great points.
Well, let me ask you one more question. You about to read another one? Sorry.
What's that?
I was gonna
his
ask.
His ceiling is like Jalen Hurts a little bit.
Oh, Jalen Hurts? Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a ceiling like that. Like you can see that his little play style, but it's like if he develops more, like I do see the little bit of Teddy Bridgewater, but the way his ceiling is, he seems more like a Jalen Hurts. Like it'll take some time. Like the Eagles are just getting him in for next year, so he'll get some more experience. But Kellen Mond might be in that same situation to where he might start by next year.
Right, I agree.
Yeah.
I got a comp for Justin Fields, at least coming out.
Yeah.
What do you think
Deshaun
about
Watson?
Steve McNair?
Justin Fields, Steve McNair?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, McNair. McNair was great. He was a really great player.
Yeah. Steve McNair also had some issues coming out of what did play?
Alcorn State.
Alcorn State. Yeah.
He had some. State, there you go.
He had some issues there. You know what I'm saying? But with accuracy, but the talent. I mean, the guy's freaking good.
Yeah, but he fixed it when he got to the league. He won MVP.
He did. So
I think, then athletically, you remember towards the end, he kind of had got knocked around, and you could see the wear and tear. But you remember how Air McNair, how fast he was running around when he first came out?
He was effective.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I do want to see that in Justin Fields, but the more I watch him, the more I think of a little bit of Deshaun Watson, man. The guy can throw it right in there, extend plays. He's just a little more mobile. Like I can believe it. You know, watching a lot of the Justin Fields, I'm starting to believe more of the Deshaun Watson comparison. Like you look at the way how Watson puts the plays, extends the plays.
Right.
This is the same thing as Justin Fields. Like I can't even be mad at this pick at all. Like this is like getting Deshaun Watson without the trouble.
Dude, that's definitely true. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting because again, this history will tell us that these draft picks don't pan out, especially high round top 10 quarterbacks. Ultimately, I think this is a different kind of a beast because these quarterbacks coming out have different critical factors that tailor to each team's skill set in their scheme. Justin Fields, Trey Lance, these guys are best suited for the San Francisco 49ers. Zach Wilson, those three.
Right.
If you're going after Trevor Lawrence, I mean, there is no scheme fit for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's not a pure pocket passer. He's just basically a athletic, tall quarterback.
That's right.
And then when you talk about the fifth one, Mac Jones, he's just a pure pocket passer. And those days are the dinosaur ages. Like, unless you're Tom Brady, you're not going to make it.
This is a question that I always ask people. I said, if the 49ers pick Mac Jones, they're banking 100% on his ability from the pocket. Because if he fails at throwing from the pocket, he's a failure. Whereas if it takes Lance or Fields a certain amount of time to learn the game, you still can build an offense around their athleticism, like boots, QB runs, whatever. and it just doesn't make sense to draft Mac Jones at all.
What are your thoughts there, CJ Ruthless Sports?
Well, like some people say, it's pointless. Like it's like you're kind of like trading up for Jared Goff in a way, because that's just exactly what Jared Goff is, and
Or
Mac Jones is
Trubisky,
exactly the same way.
That's true. Jared Goff is probably watching this like, gosh damn it.
No, but I'm not throwing the shades like that. But I'm just saying, just look at how the Rams did it. It just didn't pan out for them the long haul. Maybe it had to do behind the scenes, but let's put it like this: like if we're gonna move up for draft boards, I guess it has to be Justin Fields or Trey Lance. Even with Trey Lance, I'm okay with that, because there's some high ceilings of Josh Allen, and Josh Allen even gave him a tweet. Or Josh Allen reached out to him and told him, "Don't listen to the doubters. Let your play do the talking." And I respect that.
100%. I mean, because that's what you are going for a ceiling. People are like, first off, who's to say? I hate hearing this. Mac Jones has a high floor. Says who? He can bust just like anybody else.
Right.
What makes his floor high? What makes his floor higher than Fields or Lance or Wilson or Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah.
Just because he looks like he can know an offense, but I would say he'd be the least of the five who physically can do the job.
It's just gonna be interesting, man. Like
I
on
agree,
draft
Tobin.
day.
Whoever would Tobin say, I agree, Tobin.
What do you say?
Oh, Sunshine's overrated? I guess Sunshine is. Remember the Titans?
Oh, Sunshine is
I won't
overrated.
say
Yeah.
he's not good, but this is my opinion on Sunshine. If you're telling me he's John Elway and Peyton Manning good, then he's overrated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is overrated to compare. Let him be Trevor Lawrence. Let him prove himself. Like, I mean, he's done it in college. I think a little bit of Andrew Luck would be his ceiling for right now. Just let him prove himself first. I mean, this is the Jaguars. This is a terrible franchise that has no defense, and they got some decent receivers. Running game's gonna be good. Yeah,
They got DJ Shark. He's good. Didn't they get Keelan Cole too, if I'm not mistaken? And then
Keelan Cole, I think he was let go. He went to the.
Didn't go to the Jaguars. Let me look. I gotta look. I thought he went to the Jaguars.
I was talking about, because I think they had a lot of cap space.
Yeah, so they got. Oh, sorry, my bad. Here's the list. The Jaguars got Carlos Hyde, Marvin Jones from the Detroit Lions, and Philip Dorsett from the Seattle Seahawks. Gosh, I mean but they have DJ Shark. DJ Shark to me is a beast. I like DJ Shark. What do you guys think of DJ Shark?
Like DJ Shark.
Yeah.
When healthy, he's a hell of a good receiver. Like, you see this guy put on good numbers. Like, when he gets the ball, he's gonna be consistent. He'll catch the deep balls. He'll even make the plays when it matters. I mean, I think if Jaguars just add one more key receiver, okay, after drafting Trevor Lawrence, go get a receiver in the second round.
Yeah.
Make it. Yeah. Oh yeah, they got Chanus, whatever his name. Chanus, that guy's a beast.
It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, Trevor Lawrence to me is probably the. Everyone's calling him a generational talent, and I know what was it? Todd McShay or Mel Kiper hasn't had a quarterback rated a 90 whatever since Andrew Luck.
Yes,
I think that's hilarious to me, because when Andrew Luck came out, I was like, dude, this guy's gonna be a Hall of Fame quarterback. But when Trevor Lawrence is coming out, I said he might be a bust.
Look, the last two playoff games in college, he looked like the second best quarterback in both those games against Joe Burrow and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
Moonshine.
He did. All right. So, okay. So let's go, bro. Thank you. What makes Mac and Jack Jones floor? That was in regards to Keith Murphy. Good analysis, Keith. Look at that.
Well,
all right. Here's another one.
Oh, I'll see it later. Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I'll put it up there. Go ahead.
Yeah,
there you go.
See. Oh, he said, thank you. What makes Mac and Jack's floor high?
Mac and Jack.
You're right.
The BEASTwriter family's hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, Mac Jones' ceiling is being a great game manager, but I think when it comes to the right system, I think he'll do well. I mean, there's no knock on him. I mean, he did win a national championship, but I think his ceiling would be with the Patriots.
I think he's going to be like with Matt Leinart.
Gabriel Azule said, good point on Jacksonville Jaguars. Laviska Shenault. I was really high on Laviska Shenault coming out. I think he is also a great piece. He's going to be like what Deebo Samuel is to the San Francisco 49ers in terms of guy that's going to be used on end arounds and stuff. So I like him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a
last Mac
6'2", 220-pound receiver. He plays like a running back.
He does. But
I saw somewhere that Matt Leinart, they asked him about his NFL career, right?
mm-hmm.
And he's like, I didn't realize that guys wouldn't be open like they were. You know, he played on that super, kind of like a team that Mac Jones played on this year.
Oh, yeah, the USC squad?
The USC squad.
Oh,
and,
my
Oh, yeah,
God.
USC was
so
popular,
he was
man.
talking
You had
about-
Reggie Bush, Lindell White,
Right.
a
Yeah,
lot of the good guys.
Michael Johnson, I think. But he was talking about how much better they were than everybody, that it was kind of easy. And then when the competition got tighter, guys covered a little bit better, and even down in the NFL, he wasn't prepared for that. I'm not saying that's going to be Mac Jones, but Matt Leinart had just as good a college career as Mac Jones did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Leinart was considered a better prospect than Alex Smith coming out of college, no doubt. I mean, but he just didn't pan out. Like, I thought he was going to be the guy.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to the BEASTwriter family. Appreciate all the love and support.
And you take it easy.
What else is? You guys want to talk about anything else before I let you guys go?
I'm good, man. I've had a good talk. I'll be back in touch.
All right. Sounds good, my man.
Keith Murphy. Follow me, Keith Murphy.
Follow my man, Keith Murphy.
Yeah, I'll check you out, Keith Murphy, man. Go check out my live stream sometime, bro. We can interact some football.
Yeah.
Oh, DJ, that's right. You wanted to see when we were going to go hop on a stream. I can do it on yours or mine. It don't matter, dude. So it's up to you.
We can all do that. We can have a three-way with Mr. Murphy there too.
Oh, that'd be dope. The three amigos.
There you go.
Three amigos.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right,
sorry.
bro. Good.
No, what's that? Oh, we're back. What's up?
No, I just asked what his stream was.
CG Ruthless Sports.
CG Ruthless Sports. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, man. I'll check you out sometime, bro.
All right, you too.
All right, take it easy, guys.
All right, BEASTwriter, you're awesome, dude. Keep doing what you do, man. Preach on, dude. Like we gotta talk some football, but I do like Trey Lance, and I just haven't changed my mind on Trey Lance. I really do like the guy, so I do like Justin.
I like Trey Lance. I do like Trey Lance. I just, for me, it's like it's rolling the dice though. He's very raw, but that's not to say that he won't be a great NFL quarterback. I mean, that's the beauty of this whole thing with Trey Lance is he's going to be a boom or a bust. There's no in between with Trey Lance. So if you're going to swing for the fences and you're going to trade up all that capital, why not swing for the fences and go all the way, right? So
take that gamble.
Take that gamble. All right, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate you, bro.
All right, good one, bro.
All right, so that is pretty much it. Let me get back to your comments. Joel Figueroa from the BEASTwriter family. Yo, Beast, I've changed my options now. If we don't get Zach Wilson, I'm all in on Justin Fields as my plan B option. I saw his second pro day today. You did? I didn't even see it. Was it televised? Nolan, Keck from the BEASTwriter family says, yes, Aziz is very nice. Very nice. Aziz Ajalari from Georgia, I think. Tobin Ernst says, Mac Jones filling is Trent Dilfer with a You guys are just roasting Mac Jones here in the BEASTwriter family. You guys are just roasting and toasting him. My gosh. Okay, guys, keep a straight face. Joel Figueroa says Justin Fields was lighting it up in the second pro day. All right, Bill says New York Jets, Florida. I would hope we don't. Fields to me is all hype. Ooh, okay, good. Bill thinks that he's not high on Fields. Interesting. Fields, Wilson, and Lance. Joseph says, Gabriel Azule from the 49ers GT. Look at these comments. Social media engagement is encouraged here in the BEASTwriter family. And again, if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please be sure to do that in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. We are running Family Friday giveaways, 2:30 p.m. on our live stream. We're going to give away this 49ers candlestick, farewell to season to candlestick flag that was given back in 2013. It was only given to those who attended the game or have season tickets, and I was the lucky winner of, not lucky winner, but one of them that attended that game because I have season tickets. So it's mint condition, guys. Pretty legit flag. Can post it on your wall right behind me. So anyways, subscribe to your boy and go ahead and get that social media engagement going. All right. Paris Bro says, will you be live during the draft? Yes, I will be doing my best Mel Kiper and Todd McShay impression, and I will be hopping on a live stream for the NFL draft. It's going to be fun. Aurang Singh says, agree, Mel Kiper is overrated. He was good before internet and social media. Also says, great show once again. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, my man. CJ Ruthless Sports says Mac Jones will be a car salesman in the future. Aaron says, did I win the flag? We will let you know on Friday who wins the flag. But yeah, keep engaging. I mean, Aaron Singh, you're just busting with the comments. I like it. And this helps the algorithm. I will let you put on my restaurant wall. Ooh, and Boss Man's Pizza. Check out my man Aaron Singh here in the Bay Area. He has Boss Man's Pizza. It's on Yelp. I have yet to check out your spot. I'm going to do a live stream at his family's restaurant one of these days. We're going to work out the details, my man. And I'm going to give you a shout out and also hook you up with some really cool swag. So thank you so much for your support. Really appreciate it. Mahalo, mahalo. But this is Boss Man Pizza right here. Check them out. I think they have 4.5 stars on Yelp. So if you guys live in the Bay Area, live in the South Bay, check out Boss Man Pizza. All right, Claudia Billick says, my Pats fan, son, I love your and I'm a Pats fan and I love your stream. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Claudia, and mahalo for the love and support. Everyone here is part of the BEASTwriter family, whether they're Patriots fans, we have 49ers fans in here, Steelers fans in here, Packers, Panthers, Seahawks fans come in here, which is cool. It's all about good vibes only. At the end of the day, again, everyone has some input. So I'm glad and appreciate that everyone loves the stream here in the BEASTwriter family, where we can bridge the gap with all 32 NFL fan bases into one, and we could have a healthy discussion. I don't like using the word debate because obviously it's not a debate, but a healthy discussion where social media engagement is encouraged. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Infant Soul says, Todd McShay is trash, LOL. Oh my gosh. Alexander Scalzi says, homie, it's Fields at 3. Leave no doubt. Watch the Pro Day clips. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love. And that's what I said. That was my bold prediction, guys, here in the BEASTwriter family. Once the Mac Jones news came out and they said, oh, Niners are all in on Mac Jones, I went on immediately on the live stream, got a lot of good traffic, and I said, no, here's my bold prediction, Justin Fields. Everybody was like, what? No one's saying that. I said, watch the smoke screens. Where there's smoke, there's fire. It's going to be like all disappearing at some point as the draft nears. It's end up going to be Justin Fields if Zach Wilson is off the board. And RNC say, thanks for that 4.5 on Yelp. Yes, 4.5 stars on Yelp for Boss Man Pizza. Check out my man. If you're craving pizza, I might eat a Boss Man Pizza while doing the live stream and give my boy Aaron Singh a shout out. All right, Joel Figueroa says, we're going to be playoffs and Super Bowl contenders again, and we won't be the laughing stock anymore. I'm watching draft very closely on who we pick as our next quarterback. Joseph says, I miss Candlestick Park football. Yes, me too. I mean, I grew up going to Candlestick games, having front row season tickets on the 20-yard line in lower box section 14, row A, seats 1 and 2. Thanks to my parents. I miss Candlestick. I really do. The gusty winds, the ballpark when the Giants played there with the green, the green padding around it. The Berkeley Farms logo on the end zones, the Marlboro scoreboard that they would later take out because, it's promoting tobacco. But back in the day, it was a Marlboro scoreboard. And then right next to it in the left-hand side, you saw the AFC score ticker and the NFC score ticker the old school way. Gosh, those were the days. Very few advertising, too, around the stadium at that time. Now you look at Levi Stadium and it's boom. Corporation galore. My gosh. All right. Let's go ahead and get to some of your stuff. Here we go. 450. Oh, Joel Figueroa, I'm all in on Fields. He could be our next quarterback to take us to the promised land. All right. Danny Albright from the BEASTwriter family. Do you think Kinlaw will be a bust? Don't want him to turn out to be Manny Lawson or Kent One Bomber. For those who don't know, Manny Lawson was a tweener, also known as a hybrid defensive end outside linebacker coming out of NC State, drafted number 22 overall by the San Francisco 49ers. I believe he was the second first-round pick drafted in that draft class. If I'm getting this right, that's crazy. He would later go on and play with the Buffalo Bills, but Manny Lawson was a bust, yes, in San Francisco. Absolutely. Do I think Javon Kinlaw is going to be a bust? I would say no, because it's only 1 year production. I expect Javon Kinlaw to have a breakout season in year 2. In fact, I even said this. I tweeted this. I said Javon Kinlaw is going to have 5 to 9 sacks next year. Who out there is saying that right now? That covers the Niners. Who else is saying that? Nobody, as Jim Harbaugh would say. This guy is here in the BEASTwriter family. I am high on and bullish on Javon Kinlaw in 2021. CJ Ruthless Sports, Justin Fields just reminds me of Deshaun Watson. I believe the hype is legit. Gabriel says, are you willing to tell us your thoughts on Rosen? You and others believe Jimmy is getting traded during the draft. Are you willing to start a rookie with a Super Bowl ready roster? No, I'm not. I'm not going to start a rookie with a Super Bowl winning roster. Ultimately, again, it comes down to who's going to be that quarterback. I think you kind of have to go with whoever the backup is. If it's Josh Rosen or someone else, you put that guy in there and then let that rookie quarterback learn a few games at least. And when they go, hey, if Josh Rosen doesn't cut it, you see what you get. The sample size you pull from in the first 4 games, he goes 0-4, 2-3, 2-2. Then you get another game. Then he goes 2-3. Then it goes 2-4. Then you can kind of make that switch. However, if you do the reverse, is there any logical reason you can believe that Josh Rosen, that quarterback, would take the team to the Super Bowl? No. Do I think Jimmy Garoppolo can take him to the Super Bowl? Yes, he gives him the best chance to get there, but can he win it? Ultimately, I'm not so sure. Joel Figueroa says, I miss Candlestick too, Beast. I wish they didn't have to move to Santa Clara. I miss those days when we used to win a lot of games and Super Bowls too. Joe Montana for Steve Young won. Yes. Oh my gosh, I miss Candlestick so much. I would show you this. I don't know if I should bring it out, but there is. I'll show this for you guys. So this is hanging on my wall. Basically, it's Candlestick. I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is Candlestick Park, right? All right, and I'm just going to show you guys something right here. Let me just bring this down here. All right, so this is Candlestick Park, right? You guys see it? Okay. I'm going to show you where my seats were. And this was given to me by a friend. And my seats were located right, let's see if I'm looking correctly. So front row seats, let's see if I'm looking at this correctly. Okay. All right. So I am sitting right, where is it? That's me right there, number 15 with the Michael Crabtree jersey. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's where our seats are. 1 and 2, that's where players walk up for. This is where they practice right here. It's on the 20-yard line, essentially. And yeah, cool story. So good times, good times. Hopefully you guys can get a pic of that, but there's some Candlestick stuff for you. I miss Candlestick. All right, Nasio 07 says, yo, what's up, B? Since the Jets were at Fields' second pro day, Fields to the Jets could be possible. Out of Wilson and Fields, who do you think is the better fit in the Niners system? Zach Wilson, no doubt. Zach Wilson, no doubt, for sure. All right, Alexander, this is the last one. Do you think our O-line would be a liability for a rookie quarterback in pass project? Our line gave up 73 quarterback hits last year, leading the league. No, I think the offensive line is going to actually be a strength. With Alex Mack there, he's going to make all the line calls. He's really going to shake up and shore up that offensive line. That is going to be something that cannot be underestimated or overlooked. Nolan Keck says that is priceless. Yes, I miss Candlestick, man. Every time I look at this and it's on my wall, I'm like, damn, man, I miss Candlestick, bro. Joel Figueroa said, I went to Candlestick too when they were facing against the Falcons at the very last day there at Candlestick. So you were there when Navarro Bowman got the pick at the stick. That was one of my top 5 favorite moments in 49ers history at Candlestick Park when I actually attended the game. Yes, exactly. Ran it back for a touchdown, was tipped by Tremaine Brock. I actually watched that play yesterday. Coincidentally. Weird. Ironically. All right. Paris Bro says, what receivers do you see the 49ers possibly drafting? I'm not sure yet. Again, we have to wait how the draft position falls, but I am going to put out my mock draft, so stay tuned for that. All right, that'll be it for this podcast. I hope you liked what we had to say here in the BEASTwriter family. If you did, please hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner of your screen as you stay up to date on all things Beast in real time. Also, do yourself a solid and subscribe to your boy, and that way you'll be entered to win this farewell season to Candlestick. Last season at Candlestick Flag, given by yours truly. Again, it's in mint condition. It's not ripped at all. And you can't get it anymore. You can't find that on eBay. You can't find that on Amazon. Only here in the BEASTwriter family. So do yourself a favor, subscribe to your boy, and you'll be entered for this giveaway that we're doing 2:30 p.m. on our live stream. Also, For those who don't know, I am telling BEASTwriter says, I really want you to see this. What do you want me to see, my man? Also, for those who don't know, I am having my man, Dylan Farrell, former San Francisco 49er, tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. on our live stream. So we're having Dylan Farrell, my man, 2:30 p.m. on our live stream tomorrow in place of Tang Thursdays. Mike Tang's going to take the day off. Dylan Farrell is going to hop in. So anything you want to know about Jim Harbaugh, it's coming at you fast. We're also going to talk about what he's been up to as he started a new coffee startup in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, what it was like playing for head coaches, Jim Harbaugh, also Jim Tomsula, and also the offensive line coaches, Mike Solari and Chris Forrester. So a lot of good stuff to talk about there, as well as his rise as an undrafted rookie free agent. Thank you so much. I had a lot of fun. I wanted that link, my friend. What link? I don't know what link you're talking about, but send it to me. I will get back to you. But then again, thank you so much. I appreciate the love. Mahalo, mahalo. That's it for today. BEASTwriter out.